let's introduce our special guest.
Hello.
Hi.
What up?
All right, here.
Hey.
Give me a sec here. Give me a sec, boys and girls. Hey, what's going on here?
What's going on here?
Okay.
Oh.
So for now, right now, we have RajjPatel. Look at it. We have RajjPatel. Raj is actually. Raj is
Austin.
out. Yeah, Raj is out.
Raj is out partying right now.
Raj is out partying, and so his roommate Austin's going to be taking over for him. So we have Austin Patel, Raj's roommate and brother. Austin Patel.
Adopted roommate.
Adopted roommate.
Yeah.
We have JCG. JCG here.
Triple, please. Come on, man. Don't do
We
me
have
like that.
McConnell Rhett. McConnell, are you there?
Hey,
How you doing, McConnell?
I'm tired.
You're tired. Okay. Next, we have Esfand. He is the runner-up, the next president of World of Warcraft, running as soon as Asmongold's term ends. He's here to make Azeroth great again.
That's right.
We have Esfand.
There you go. There you go.
Look at that.
There you
Make
go.
Azeroth great again. It's unbelievable. Who is this? Who is this?
I'm gonna guess Andy Milanakis.
Who is this? It's a black screen. It's black.
Oh, it's
Monkey S.
Asmongold!
What the fuck is your problem?
Wow! What a surprise to pop up. That is hype as it gets right there. Asmongold, I've never seen him in a white t-shirt in my life, actually. In my life. I don't think I've ever seen him in a white t-shirt in my life, actually. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing him with different colors on. So we have Asmongold here, RajjPatel, JC-double-D-G-G-G-G-G,
32E.
Esfand, the next runner-up to presidency after Asmongold's terms end. 8 years Asmongold will serve. I think he's about 3 or 4 years left. And then Esfand will be the runner-up, and he'll make Azeroth great again. And finally, we have Candyland, the girl who parties fully naked. Right? That's what you said.
That got her a couple rounds. That got her a couple rounds.
In Sweden. In Sweden, she said she parties naked. That's what they do in Sweden, apparently. They don't have clothes. So,
yeah.
And we have
For a while in my life, for a little.
I still need you to elaborate on that. Like, what at point in the party is everybody like, we are in Sweden, it's time to get naked. Ooh, yeah.
That's,
Like, at what point does that happen?
Yeah, when we get drunk enough, I guess. Like, we just find there's not so much to do, I guess, so we find other stuff to do that's more fun. Like, get undressed.
Is it like a verbal thing where everybody just agrees, okay, now it's time to take off our clothes, or does it just happen?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like thinking back at it, I feel like maybe I was taking the initiative a little bit too much.
Oh, so you were taking off your clothes, and all the other guys are like, "Yeah, let's get naked." I'd have a boner for sure. I'd be walking around with that.
And finally, we have McConnell Rhett.
She's not denying
already.
it. So.
McConnell Rhett. He's a World of Warcraft paladin. Unfortunately, he is banned on Twitter. He is banned on showing camera, and the FBI has closed all communicatory, whatever the word is. So,
No, that's right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was it. You said the right word.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
you. You know, McConnell, I was thinking of this real quick. I brought this up on the Raw show. What if this whole, like, everyone just assumes you're a man? What if you were actually a girl using a voice changer this entire time? Like, think about that. Like, I'm not even trolling. Like, think about that for a moment.
You are trolling. They don't make voice changers that good.
They do. No,
they don't.
Yeah.
No, they do not. Give me a break.
This light is killing me. Who sees this light? There we go.
Why would you ever want to be a man?
Give me a second.
Pig.
Give me a second here. Fix this.
Asmon, I think I could just watch your facial expressions.
Yeah, he's got some good ones.
He does. Oh wait. Which ones are your favorite?
All right, we're back. We are back. Okay, anyways, so today, Asmongold and I, we talked about a few topics we're going to bring up. We're going to wait a little longer, because we need Andy Milanakis here to, be on the other side of things. Andy, Andy fights for the other side,
The devil's advocate.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's a devil's advocate. It seems like he's actually passionately on that end.
Maybe.
Well, that's good. It would be boring if everybody agreed.
That's
I
true.
agree.
That's true. I agree. Okay, I see what you did there, McConnell. Smart. See, I think your intelligence flies over most of our heads, especially. Never mind. Okay, but anyways, so we have a couple good topics to talk about. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened in the last week that I've been gone. I went to Canada. Canada was definitely an experience. I've been to Canada before, but this experience was just. It just makes me proud to be an American. That's all I got to say. Like, for me to post USA #1 on my Twitter, it tells you, holy shit, something has happened to this man for him to post that. Oh, wow. McCuck, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. McCuck, thanks to... Oh, Takarita, tier 1 to McCuck. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Takarita, tier 1 to McCuck. Thank you. Anyways,
Why don't you shout it out again, dude? Just one more time.
Takarita, tier 1 to McCuck. Thank you so much. Yo, McCuck, how'd you get that username, man? That's actually... it's kind of messed up because McConnell's my friend, but tier 1 to McCuck. Thank you so much. Fubasha, Twitch Prime 2 months. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank all the subs at the end here. I just wanted to thank one of them. Anyways, though, so a lot of things have happened. And I think we need to talk about these kind of things, okay? And I think this is a great podcast. It's a Scuffed podcast, so the topics are everywhere. Some topics are last second, some topics are spontaneous, and most topics are created last second, like I said before. But yeah, we had a pretty good talk show today. I've been gone about 8 days. It's been a little miserable. Twitch is part of my life, but I've been watching Asmongold when I was over in Canada. He is killing the scene, absolutely. Let's get some hearts in chat for Asmongold. 30K minimum. It's nothing. When he's at 27K, it's like, hey, I'm gonna grab a snack real quick. The stream just started. You know what I'm saying? So it's been crazy, insane. Get some hearts in chat for Asmongold. By the way, Esfand, I saw your hat. Make Azeroth great. I had an epiphany, actually. I thought about this. Do you think Asheroth named himself after Azeroth, or do you think they named Azeroth after Asheroth?
It's kind of like a chicken or the egg situation, I think.
Asheroth is a shitty knockoff of Eminem, and he was never a good rapper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't.
I mean, either way.
Though he came out with one good CD with 3 good songs on it, and the rest sucked.
Is that No Faith in Brooklyn guy?
It's a college guy. The I Love College.
Oh, I Love College.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
And that's the whole thing.
That was my anthem freshman year.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I like that a lot. Okay, so that's good. We have McConnell right here. McConnell, I got a screenshot on my Discord earlier of you streaming. It's impressive, dude. Very impressive.
I streamed for about an hour.
Yeah,
I don't see that too often.
You don't. I can't show the screenshot. Unfortunately, it'll cause a little bit of drama. But it was a very interesting screenshot in my Discord. So,
hey, Train.
Yes.
Hello. Oh, I just gotta ask you. I feel the same. I just want to say I feel the same way. When I was over in Europe, I almost cried when I came back home. I was gone for a month. Mm-hmm. America is the best fucking country in the world. There's no doubt about it. There's no fucking doubt about it.
Yeah, for a while.
Best motherfucking country.
For a while, I was scared to for a while, I was.
Sorry, Candy.
For a while, I was like, people would say that we're just sheltered. We're entitled. We go outside of our state. We don't understand real life. That's what I thought it sounded like. But after my last experience in Canada, I just realized I don't give a fuck if Canada has free healthcare. I don't give a fuck if their shit's, socially, on top of us. I don't care. Everything else that they don't have going for them is not worth having free healthcare. It's just not. And I've fought for that for a long time. I've fought for how Canada has free healthcare. They're 20,000 steps ahead of us. But realistically, they have free healthcare, and that's it. Everything else is down to us, right? So, that's the way you got to look at it. And, Canada's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love my Canadian fans. I love Canada. I love Vancouver. I love Toronto. Great. Yeah. But listen, America #1, not to mention, let's be honest. Okay, if we go to war, I'm pretty sure we have Canada's size of the army here in this Discord.
Everybody talks shit about America, but then as soon as we go to war, they're like,
Exactly. America.
You got it, America.
I would say that America is probably the second best country in the world.
What's the best? World of Warcraft?
Texas.
Texas. Hell yeah, brother.
Texas isn't a
That's
country.
true.
Hell yeah, it is. That's why, hey, what other state is allowed to fly their flag at an equal height legally
Wait,
in
what?
America?
Texas?
Yeah, Texas
that's
is
a
the
law?
only state.
Wait, that's a law?
Yeah, it's a law. It's a law. Every other state legally has to have their flag under America. Texas is the only one.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
Hey, I want to
Only
make it
Texas.
clear that I love Europe, and I love my Europeans too, and
Yeah.
Canadians and everybody else. But I think you should believe that. I think you should believe that the country you live in is the best country in the world. That's my opinion.
Why?
Is EBZ banned on Twitch?
I don't know.
Otherwise, you should move.
Probably.
Oh, okay. I wanted to bring
have no idea.
some dive.
Yes.
I wanted to bring like other people on. You know, like I asked. Yeah, never mind. Yo, guys, thanks for the subs, thanks for the donos. I'll read them all at the end. They're gonna pop up regardless, but I turn the sound off. I don't want to interrupt our beautiful Scuffed podcast of this beautiful information you're gonna be listening to us, from us, in us, and around us. But yeah, what were you saying, Raj? What did you say about loving the country you live in?
I don't know. I was just saying something along the lines of I think you should be passionate about where you live. But maybe it's because I'm American and that's the way I believe. But maybe I don't know what it's like to live in another country. So maybe there's some countries on Earth that maybe you're not proud to live in. And I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
I
But-
can think of a few.
yeah, me too. But I don't really want to mention them. But I don't want to talk down on them. But
Are they like in the Middle East?
They're somewhere.
They're on Earth.
They're not here.
Yeah.
Careful.
I know a lot of British people don't like their country. Everybody that I talk to, but I like it. I think I'm more patriotic about England than the English are. Anyway,
So
I was so glad they lost the World Cup.
no.
I mean, really, because like they kept doing that "it's coming home" thing, and it was just
That
annoying.
was cute. I
No,
wish
it was
that they
stupid.
won
It was annoying.
yesterday.
It was like because they didn't want me to say it. Like, oh, say it on stream. Say it on stream.
shouldn't have to say
Not
it.
normally it, but like it's coming home. And whenever they lost, I was so happy, man. It was just it
you
made me
kidding
feel
me?
good. It's like
I bought
whenever a
a
meme,
jersey.
it's like a meme truly died that day, and I love that.
It's coming back in 2022 in Qatar, whatever the fuck it is.
No, isn't
Everybody's
it
gonna forget
coming
about
home?
it by then.
Isn't it going to be in America?
No, that's in 2026.
Yeah, it's gonna be in
How do we even know
Qatar
if we're going to make it?
because they're mad because in Qatar apparently like they don't have a bunch of standards for construction. So there's some huge expected death toll for creating the World Cup there. I think that's
Wait,
something
so they're
like
just
that.
gonna murder people to build stadiums, or like what?
Not gonna murder people, but I mean, the construction is gonna be so bad.
Oh, it's gonna be so hard to. Oh, okay.
they're gonna kick them out of their house.
already.
You
I
win
thought,
some,
they were
you lose
just gonna,
some.
I thought they were just gonna plow over houses with people in them to make
Maybe
room.
that's
You're
how
just
you
gonna
do
make
it in America. I
stadiums
don't
out
know.
of
Yeah, we
people.
plow stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were just gonna destroy it.
So
Just-
what's been going on Twitch since I've been gone? Like I feel like there's so many new memes. I've missed some amazing. Who is that? I see black screen.
You've been gone for so long. Do you have any stories? Like, what was it like not being in America? Like, what'd you do? Anything different?
We certainly didn't have freedom of speech.
Oh, shit! True, Greek. True. Who's this guy? Who's this black screen guy? Who's this guy in the? Your camera's not. All I see is black. Does it?
It can be two people.
Andy Milanakis.
It's just black. It's only. Yo, are you using it in another application, Andy?
Application Andy.
Application Andy.
Yo, Esfand, are they doing a rave in the stadium?
They are, actually. They are.
That's what it looks like, man.
Yay!
We gotta get
Is there
Trihex in
someone
one
like-
of these.
That'd be great.
So
Is
cool.
Trihex
Who's
awake
that?
right now? Trihex.
Wait, why do you
my
live
brother.
at the stadium?
He goes to bed early. Remember
I
we
know.
talked about that on Greek's podcast?
Same with Nick. Yeah, Nick goes to bed early too.
Yeah.
I messaged him earlier.
They're like normal, responsible adults.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know how good that life is. I mean, it's a good, but it's just it's sleeping early. Just when you sleep early, you wake up early. When you wake up early, you got to sleep early. It sucks. Like it sucks. Like why can't you wake up early and sleep late without being
I like that.
unhealthy?
Yeah, that seems very good. Yeah. I wish I could sleep like 4 hours a day. That'd be just fine.
Yes. Like I hope one day they create like a recharge station where you can just plug it into the like spinal cortex of your brain, and you can just sleep for 2 hours, and it charges you the same amount as 8 hours. Think about that. That's genius,
Being
right
a
there.
robot.
But like a robot, yes, like a robot. But anyways,
Yo.
what up?
Yo.
The fuck is wrong with my cunt of a camera, dude? I didn't
Do you have
even
OBS on? Is
No.
it okay?
I'm gonna just
Did you
restart my
unplug it?
computer.
How many
That was the only
cameras? Do you
troubleshooting I
have any multiple cameras plugged into your computer?
I have like 4 of them.
So go into
I'm
your
just
settings.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Oh.
I'm gonna restart. I just have one.
Okay, dude.
So while he restarts, I'll answer JCG's question here about Canada. About Canada. So I mean, okay. So I got to figure out a way to say this because I was actually on the plane. You know, in Canada, I actually ran into in the airport. I ran into like 3 pretty loyal, pretty cool, guys that watch my stream, and they're with their parents, and one actually ended up being next to me on my flight. Think about that. Like, it's one thing meeting them in the airport. It's another thing where you sit next to a random person, and he turns over, he's like, Trainwreck? Like, and he took a picture with me. It's on my Twitter. I retweeted it, and he told me I shouldn't say what I want to say here because it's going to come off a little... I don't want it to... It's going to come... It's a little... It comes off... Okay, I'm not a racist, okay?
That's a good start.
Yeah, good preface. Good preface.
How can I... Okay.
No, here's the thing. You're stuck because you have to preface it with that. I don't even know what you're gonna say, but like you have to preface it with that, and then
Well,
everyone's like,
I think that I can fish it out. What did they look like?
Okay, now... Okay.
Oh my god.
Wait,
damn,
Andy,
what
maybe your thing is... check your actual settings in Discord. And
All right.
do you have an Elgato capture card running on your computer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Make sure you
That's a pain in the
open the application. Make sure it's like turned. Everything's off. Because I had that issue for a while. And then replug your camera in and out. I'm not sure. Make sure Skype's not on it. What other camera applications are used? Does anyone know any other camera applications that are like secret? Like.
There's Skype. There's the government thing.
There we go.
to Spy on you.
What was
Okay, yeah, there
was
we
that
go.
right?
The government thing?
Yeah.
It was in the Discord settings. There was.
Hey, there he is.
Troubleshoot
the
Andy
wrong
right here,
thing.
baby. Troubleshoot Trainwreck.
What's up, troubleshoot gang, motherfucker? I'll
right,
suck
gang,
your
gang.
dick.
So anyways, before we so Asmongold has some good topics. I have some good topics, and whoever else has good topics, we can talk about them. But before we get there, I was talking about Canada. Canada's amazing. Okay, my biggest issue was I went to the A&W. I said this earlier. I asked for a fucking large Coke, or sorry, I asked for a large root beer because the A&W there was like actually it's from there, right? And the root beer is fucking phenomenal. It tastes like there's a fucking ice cream in there, but there isn't. Anyways, I'm like, can I get a large one? He's like, large. Like he had no clue what the fuck I was saying. He's like, all we have is one size, and it's this small puny size. Like, what the fuck? And then I go, okay, can I get ice? They go, we have no ice. Like, what the fuck? Listen, this is a fast food joint. You're known for burgers and soda. What the fuck do you have if you have no ice and no large? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's disgusting to me. And then they recently opened a Chipotle there. Okay, the only Chipotle in all of the fucking eastern side of Canada. The only one. I walk in there. She's like, "Oh, this is great. You don't have this in America, do you?" I'm just sitting here. So I was pissed. I'm like, "No, we have one every fucking corner." Like, so many things pissed me off. And on top of that, okay, so this was what I was saying about the I'm not racist. Okay, I'm not racist. Okay, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I swear I'm okay. Just how can I word this without? Yeah, there's no way to word it without coming off racist. Okay, I mean, I'm not racist though. Like, it's just like, yeah,
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Canada was good, man. It was just, it felt like.
What are you gonna get to with the racist thing?
Keep going. Hey, I'm not a racist.
I think
Fine if you
to hone in on this. Did this racism occur in the airport?
No,
where is
no, it
this
did not. No,
Okay.
no. So there was no racism that occurred anywhere. Just like, okay, like, do you know how in America people talk about an immigration problem in America?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All day, every day.
So in Canada, there is another immigration with another place that immigrates a lot, and
How do they get there?
I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure.
I think
They
he's talking
fly. What do you mean?
I think
That's
he's
like a
talking about
point.
Alaskans. But I think he's talking about like
No.
Eskimos. Like in
There was just this like.
Is this reverse immigration?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but like there's just this. I can't explain. I can't explain because it's like there's no way I can say it without it coming off in a certain way. And I know how it sounds, and I don't mean it like that. Like I mean it in a purely innocent. It doesn't matter. The point
if you look at chat, they know what you're talking about, dude.
No.
No.
Hold on. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Anyways, the point is, I just feel like, here's what I feel like. I wish Canada could just be their own country in this sense. Okay. I understand it's so close to America. It's almost the same thing. But I just feel like it's trying too hard to be America. I feel like the people in Canada are trying, not all of them, but from what I saw,
well, they don't have enough gun violence for that.
They're true. It just like I wish it was
too nice and down to earth for that.
I wish it was its own like because like they're beautiful people. You know, every second like they could be in the right and they go sorry. You know, I'm like it's okay. Sorry. You know, it's okay. I'm like it's okay. You know, sorry. You know, it's fine. You know, they're not very nice people. But it's like, just be you, you know, because I'm like walking around and everyone's I just can't explain it. It's like fanboys of America. And it's just like so try-hard America, right? I can't explain. Every country,
it's like the little brother that follows you around everywhere and tries to like the same things that you like. Well, wow, we're going to have our own football team now. And no, we're not talking about soccer.
Exactly.
Is it like that?
Well, America runs pop culture, right?
That's true. I would agree with that.
So when you see an English-speaking country, well, mostly English-speaking, and you see something that's like, you know, a lot of trendy shit, behavior things. When you have the country that completely runs pop culture and you see a bunch of kids trying to be like that, it's like, okay, duh.
Well, there's people in like Saudi Arabia that are going around in Rihanna t-shirts, right?
True. I fuck with all of them.
That's right. So I think that's cool, dude.
I mean, people are also
there's a second part of that joke I won't do.
Yeah, I actually finished that joke for you in my head. I just didn't say it. That's why I had a smirk on my face. But anyways, people are also saying that, you know, it's go to Vancouver, you know, go to Toronto, you know, it's a little different. And it is. It's very different. You're completely right. You know, this isn't, it's just, I just.
No, Montreal is where it's different because there's so many French speaking, like French Canadians, and it feels more European. It doesn't feel like America.
I think
the culture is different.
Where the fuck is XQC, man?
I've never met a French Canadian that I got along with.
Fortnite streamer.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I've had like dozens of them in my my WoW guilds, and every single time we butted heads. I don't know what it is, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I have the opposite. I like
Really?
all the French Canadian guys I know. Yeah, all the French Canadian guys I know are like really funny and cool.
Well,
all two of them.
There was one thing I really hate that I've noticed a couple French Canadians do, and it's not all French Canadians, obviously. Let's make the distinction clear. And it's also some actual Frenchmen. Have you noticed that like there's this pretentiousness to the French language where like
oh yeah,
like they really emphasize like it's like we get it. You're French. We get it.
They talk with their nose up.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. I know exactly.
Every single thing, every opinion that ever comes out of their mouth is like completely 100% fact. Well, this is why.
Exactly.
Like everything's so matter of fact. Like, no, bitch, that's just your opinion.
Also,
like, you don't get to speak for humanity.
Even in their tone of voice. That's what I thought you were talking about.
The hand gestures. I like that, Andy. That's exactly how they talk.
Well, also, like what I'm referring to more so is, it's like, for example, syrup. They're like, pass the syrup. You know, it's like
yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like the accent.
I get it. You're fucking French. I get it. Like, or do you have any water? You know, it's like I get it. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? It really annoys me. You know, when it's just I can't explain. It's so annoying to me. It's so annoying to me. You know what I'm talking about?
Racism.
It's not racist. It's not listen, I'm gonna be honest. Zinedine Zidane's French. He's my favorite soccer player in the entire world. I have 3 posters of him.
That's the equivalent of I have one black friend.
So it's three posters. So.
Oh, that's fucked up.
No, so I thought you were talking about like like how French Canadian people speak and how like French people speak French is different, and it's like This is a thing that I've heard. Like, it's actually like people who speak like French versus like French Canadian French. It's like there's a very like distinct accent, and it's almost like pompous. Like, it's like, oh, I speak like real French.
Yeah, I like French people. Don't get me wrong. I like French people. And the French people weren't what I was talking about when I was talking about the other thing. It's actually a completely different different. It doesn't matter. It's not French.
Culture.
It's not French people. I love French people. I love all people. Okay, I don't know why I love all people. I love all people. I just, you know what? Let's go to the topic. The point is, you know, Canada's a great place. I just feel like they have such beautiful architecture in certain areas. You know, they have such beautiful, you know, they have great potential. You know, they're very nice. I just feel like they can really grow in their own direction, but instead they're trying to, like, you know, it's like I can't explain, but it's definitely, you know, great country, beautiful country. I just, you know, I could have just been on the wrong side of the bed. I could have been, you know, having withdrawals from Twitch. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, let's get on to the actual show here. Okay, this was the topic we're talking about, waiting for you.
Oh, that
Andy.
wasn't the show?
No, we're actually. This was the topic waiting for Asmon and Andy.
Okay.
But Asmon showed up pretty early. But anyways, let's start. So actually, before we start with what Asmongold and I were going to bring up here, half Asmon, half me, and Asmon has his own direction he wants to go in. I have my direction I want to go in. What's been going on Twitch lately? So I've been gone 9 days, 8 days, 9 days. It feels fucking weird because 9 days usually is nothing. But I feel like I have missed, like, in those 9 days, I missed the hog squeezing thing. The squeezing my hog thing created in the last 9 days. I don't know what, like, I see it everywhere. I'm squeezing my hog to this. You know, it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Okay.
From LSF.
I thought that's been here since I started.
No, that came from LSF.
McConnell, where does it come from?
It comes from LSF, man. I saw the thread that was in.
Yeah, I get it, but what was the context?
It was a dude that had commented in Twitch chat, and he was watching a certain type of streamer in the IRL section, and he had said those words, and they had been reposted on LSF.
So he said, I'm squeezing my hog to this. Gonna keep doing it, even if you ban me.
It's one of those. It's hands down one of my favorite copy pastas right now.
Dude, you had that word for word.
It's so it's so
Maybe
true.
Asmon was creator of it secretly.
Like, it's just real. Like, I mean, it's just like, yeah, like, technically
He
the
seems
guy's
pretty
right.
proud of it.
He does.
He's like, this is what it was. This is what it was.
And then
As long as we can admit that we're celebrating mentally retarded people, then I'll let you enjoy that.
Whoa.
Thank you.
perfect. Now, I know there was Ligma, Sugma, Sukadi.
What is the Ligma thing?
No, that one's bad, dude.
That was terrible, man.
That is the Ugandan knuckles. That's the Ugandan knuckles of today.
Well, of course it is, because it came out of the Fortnite section, so it's a bunch of 12-year-olds. So what specifically is the Ligma thing? I have no idea what Ligma is. People were telling me I have this.
You want a Ligma?
I don't want to look it up.
No, it's literally
It's a disease. I don't want to know my
Esfand?
history.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, I got.
Okay,
They're
go
literally
ahead.
just making up a word. They're literally just making up a word and just to put like balls afterwards. It's like lick my balls.
No.
kiss my balls, or these
happened-
nuts, or whatever it is.
It had to do with Ninja. Ninja was like, he was streaming, and then I think it was a tweet, and he was like, "Oh, I have Ligma," and then Ninja was like, "Oh, Ligma, I'm sorry, what is that?" And he said, "Ligma balls," and that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's like it's so like
Super
it's
funny.
like it's not funny. Like people did that like in like middle school, like 10 years ago, or how old am I? 15 years
you know
ago.
what's way better
That's
than that?
great.
Snoop Dogg.
so stupid.
Snoop Dogg came out with a way better one than that. He goes to this producer. He's like, "Yo, you still in touch with Malone Brown?" And he's like, "Malone Brown?" He's like, "Yeah, Malone Brown, dick in your mouth." That's a little bit better.
Brown.
I just think those are funny, right? Because they're so stupid, they're funny.
No, but it
Yeah, it's
doesn't.
like an anti-joke, I guess.
Why not laugh when you can?
It's not really an anti-joke. It's just something that's like, it's just so unbelievably like, just puerile and just terrible that
Yeah.
it's funny.
It's blatantly stupid and infantile.
Exactly. It's blatant.
I don't know.
I know it doesn't. That's a thing that's real. What you're saying is something that's real.
Yeah.
I don't think this falls in that category though.
I have one question for all of you.
Yeah.
And
In my opinion.
I'm going to try and word this correctly here. And it comes from Andy saying, "Why don't you, stick my Malone Brown dick, whatever." So
the way you described it so seriously, when Andy said, stick my Malone Brown dick. Yeah, okay, go ahead, keep going.
I was curious because is there I've noticed, and I've always felt awkward, right? Because I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so I've noticed. Okay, for example, when someone describes me, they say I'm white, or they say I'm Persian, so I'm brown, etc., etc. But I've noticed a lot of a lot of people, for example, I was in the airport going to Canada. I stopped in Philadelphia, and there was this military guy, and I assumed he was military because he had the military backpack, he had the hat with the United States patch on it, the Velcro patch, and he said something about how he's brown, right? And he was an African American gentleman. Now, I also have friends.
What is he doing?
We're gonna see Andy's search history here.
I also have friends. No, I also have friends that say that they're black, and then some say they're brown. I'm just wondering, where does that color distinction come from? A brown or black? But it's the same. Does that?
What the fuck?
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, what he says is some people refer to themselves that are because you think somebody is let's say somebody is African American, right?
Yes.
And some people consider themselves black, some people consider themselves brown. I think it's just a distinction per person, right? It's the same as some people consider themselves white, and then some people are no, I'm German or I'm Polish or something like that. It's just European or whatever. I think it's just a personal image type thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I see.
That's what I was
That's
wondering.
what it makes sense to me.
Oh, you know what's funny when you talk to
What?
girls who are trying to be super exotic, they'll be they're what are you? They're I'm 10% Brazilian, 30% Cuban, 40% Icelandic. Okay, my eyes are green.
That sounds like someone. That sounds like someone on Twitch that said they're 10% black, so that they're allowed to say.
Oh god, dude.
Hey, there was a guy on the show yesterday that was Asian, a rapper guy that said, I wanted to rap, or there was going to be a rap battle that was going to go down, and he said he couldn't rap battle because he couldn't guarantee he wasn't going to say the N-word.
That's impressive.
That's it's just so ingrained.
It's such a large control over the vocabulary that you have to use the N-word to rap.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Completely.
He lost, by the way.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah. His name was his name was Lo Mein was his rap name, but was
he from The Lion King?
No. His name is -2 racks.
Yeah, that's what we called.
It's inside. Yeah.
Okay. So, real topic now. Okay, real topic. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I just want to ask that question. I was really curious. I was actually curious about that.
yeah.
So, on recent news, we've actually before we get to the Demi Lovato stuff, I want to talk about. Recently, I saw a tweet. Okay, and it was this falls in the same category as the whole sexist card being abused. But we've talked about that. We've kind of ran that, and we kind of ran that to the ground. I have another thing that I've noticed a lot of, and maybe I know I'm disgusted by it. I can tell JCG's probably disgusted by it because JCG she mentioned how she's had a lifelong of actual depression, actual stuff like that. It seems like we live in an age where, have you noticed, a lot of people are pulling the mental illness card so fucking much. It is unreal. I saw a tweet. Now, like I said, I could be wrong about this, but I saw a tweet from Celestia Vega, and she just, she's now facing, backlash, and, she's facing, she's being objectified even more. And I think she's kind of stepping back from that, realizing, shit, I gained all of this, but now I don't want the consequence. So now, suddenly, like I said, it could be true. I don't know, if it is, everyone gets their help, but it just seems just such a coincidence to me that suddenly, all these mental illness cards are drawn as soon as the consequences are there. Does that make sense? And I've noticed that with so many people in the real world, so many streamers, and I want to talk about that, because I feel like in this generation, the sexist card's being abused, and now we have the mental illness card. Those people.
I think there's a lot of people that are mentally ill. I think the problem really comes whenever people use their mental illness as a way to misdirect and minimize things that they did that were negative or things that they regret, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody's mentally ill, then I think they deserve support, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're absolved of anything that they do wrong just because they're mentally ill. And I think that honestly, the best advice I could give somebody that is bipolar, that does have problems like that, is to stay off things like social media, because I think that if anything, they feed into those mental illnesses a lot more than they help them.
Yeah, they do.
It might create higher highs, but I think it's also going to create lower lows.
Yeah, but you're missing out. What a lot of these people crave the most of is attention, and even though it's not good for them, like, how do you pull them away from the attention that they're getting by broadcasting their daily problems or making excuses or look at me, help me, I'm the victim, blah blah blah. Like I don't know, just people.
I think people should be. Go ahead.
Sorry, before we continue this, I want to split this into two categories. The first category being people who actually have mental illness, and people who
Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that line of thinking, Tyler. Like, here's what I think, right? Is because we are all, of course, doctors that graduated from Reddit University.
All of them,
okay?
absolutely.
So we know everything. And
I have a PhD, but
okay, well, there we go. Well, that is what it's a doctorate, And all of these other people, that many of these mental illnesses are self-diagnosed, right? This isn't a doctor didn't tell them this. They read this on Wikipedia. They said, I'm feeling down today, and they think that they're bipolar or something, and or depressed, etc.
Exactly.
I think that really motivating people like that to try to get help and try to make sure that they don't use social media as a crutch for their own problems is the most important way forward. And I think that we've seen a lot of people on Twitch, especially, really run their careers into the ground because I think partially mental illness. I really can't explain it any other way. And it's tragic to see. It really is. But at the same time, as I said before, I really don't think it absolves them of responsibility.
I agree.
That's where I'm at.
do you think Twitch creates that mental illness?
Absolutely,
Sometimes?
100%.
Me too.
The community itself.
Because you're sitting. At the end of my stream, I'm sitting there reading messages of people calling me an idiot, and I'm like reading donations of people calling me bald, and then I've got somebody on the screen trying to get their character on the camera, and then I'm trying to entertain people, and I'm like, what am I going to do next? There's like 50 million things that I'm trying to do all at the same time. It's like, that's going to create some sort of a problem. And especially like whenever you get into like just a feedback loop of positive and negative feedback, it's like, hey, if I do something that fucks somebody else over, I get positive feedback from these people, right? And this is like, I guess what you would call like the quote IRL crowd. And obviously like IRL viewers are not all like this, but there is a subset of IRL viewers that I think are very, very toxic. And I think that people appeal to them whenever they do things like that. It's kind of like making a deal with the devil. And then whenever they stop doing that, then those people turn on them because they don't consume content, they consume people. And that's really what's happened to a lot of people on Twitch. And it's scary. It really is. But I think that ultimately it comes down to the streamer to take responsibility for not only their community, to an extent, right? Obviously to an extent, but also take responsibility for their own actions. And if they're able to identify that they have a mental illness, I think they should be asking for help and not donations.
I agree.
Do you think something I want to touch on? You said that you think like Twitch creates it.
Yes.
Do you think it creates it out of nothing, or do you think it makes something that might already be there to some extent, however small it is, and just makes whatever is there
intensifies
worse?
That? Yeah.
Make it grow.
I want to talk about that as well after you answer this question.
I've been talking 80% of the time here. I figured I'd give somebody else.
I'll say something. I think that like people who are playing video games day in, day out, with or without an audience, without a chat room, without donations, just people playing video games on a daily basis and confined by four walls, staring at a monitor for 10 hours at a time, day in, day out, has the chance of creating a lot of mental illness in of itself. Now, when you add people who are just like poking and prodding you all day and shit talking you all day, that's another layer. I think with IRL fan bases, I guess, can be kind of toxic. I don't know. I got rid of thousands of people just because it wasn't worth the flow of the chat being constant whack shit. I'd rather read people that want to write about what's going on. I think when you do IRL, even though sometimes it's more difficult, the fact that you're outside with fresh air, with meeting people and kind of living your life on camera, that might not be the healthiest, but I think in a lot of ways to get you out of your house and to actually kind of like be living in the real world a little bit, mentally it's not as taxing
I don't know, dude.
the gaming constant.
I think it depends on the person. Because
I would say
when I did IRL for a brief period of time, we were in Europe at the same time, Andy, right? You were in France and we were over in Amsterdam or whatever. And during that 3-week period, I felt like a psycho because I don't know. I've just felt crazy because every time you go out, like being away from the computer is when I feel normal. And then all of a sudden my normal is with the camera and I had nowhere to escape to. Basically, you know, if that makes any sense, because when I go to be my normal away from it's always away from the computer, not towards the computer, and now I had nowhere to go, you know. So I don't know if that makes
I want to comment real quick. So
I get it.
There's two things I want to talk about here. The first thing is, before we forget about the topic Esfand brought up that he caught, and it's about saying that Twitch creates mental illness. Okay, so there's a quote, and I looked up the author of the quote just because I wanted to have the author, and it's by William Gibson. Okay, and this really holds true for me. Okay, because as someone, you know, I was diagnosed with bipolar in my late 16, almost 17, and I've dealt with my shit. Right, and I don't use it as an excuse. I know myself. I know when I drink, this is going to happen. I don't drink and then it happens and I, use it as an excuse. I know when I drink, this is going to happen. I'm going to act in this way. I know myself at this point. I've been living with it for 11 years now, 10 years, 11 years. And I know. So as far as saying that Twitch creates it, this quote, I feel like really, shows why I disagree in this sense. Okay. So the quote goes, before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, first make sure that you are not, in fact, just surrounded by assholes. Okay. That quote, in my opinion, embodies exactly what I'm saying in the sense where I don't agree that mental illness can just be created out of thin air and then it can be cured once you're out. Like, that's not mental illness. That's just cause and effect. Do you understand? Like, if I go do something that's bad for my health and I feel a certain way, I can't say I have mental illness. It's a cause and effect. Real mental illness is there no matter what you do. You could win a lottery.
It's a chemical imbalance.
But that's not true. Different situations in your life can create mental illness.
It can create episodes of mental illness, not mental illness. If someone dies in your family, you will go through depression, but that doesn't mean you now have manic depression and your brain's chemicals are off and miswired. Yes. You'll go through an episode of depression.
What about stuff like PTSD? What about stuff that events in your life change you 100% going forward and you're changed for the rest of your life, and it leads to like all of a sudden anxiety attacks pop up.
Yes,
all of a
I think
depression,
yes.
Depression pops up.
Yes.
Situations in your life can
I agree.
create ongoing mental illness.
I agree with that example of PTSD.
I don't think these are mutually exclusive things.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
No,
that's different.
Yes. It's way different. It's way different.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have PTSD, absolutely, yeah, that's going to create mental illness.
Yes.
But that doesn't also mean that being surrounded by toxic people isn't going to also create mental illness.
Yeah.
Because it's more tolerable, and you can beat that. You can't beat a chemical imbalance.
There are some things in your brain, the chemistry of your brain, how your brain works, that if you have bipolar or if you're born with certain mental conditions, those things can be kind of like from birth till death, right? It doesn't mean that a lot of different situations in your life can create something going forward that you can eventually maybe get out of and fix, or maybe never fix. So there are so many different examples and situations where depending on things in your life that go on in your life can create a mental illness.
Also, real quick, I I feel like we're going in an area where, Asmongold brought up earlier, we're not doctors, we're not, psychologists or psychiatrists, so we can't really know.
That's just logic, though.
It is logic. It is logic.
Emotion.
But I don't want to go in this direction where, we actually need to provide statistics and, proofs and shit like that. So I want to kind of trace us back to my point. I feel like since there is no way to actually, so for example, the sexist card, that we're talking about the last 2 weeks, there is no way to actually prove, that this certain individual's pulling this card and isn't actually, it's not real. You can't prove it, because if you try proving it, there's this deniability and you get fucked. And I feel like that same deniability is in this mental illness thing. And I see it so much. You can't say anything, but I find it very, very discouraging and very insulting in the sense where people with actual mental illness who struggle with it every day are taking the hit for the irresponsible people that decide to fuck up and say, okay, well, listen, I did this to myself. I gained this much money. I gained this much viewership. I gained this and this. Now that I've gained it and I'm getting all the consequences, I don't want the consequences. Fuck that. I want all the good. I don't want the bad. So, hey, I'm bipolar, by the way, guys. I've made mistakes. I'm going to go see therapy. That's my free jail out of jail for free card. Like that's I can't prove that, but like I see it so much, and with someone that's had mental illness and lived with it and have gone through my personal shit that I've talked about on stream. My psychotic break. When I was early 20s. Like I know what I know it's just bullshit. I can't say it for who, but like that's a serious issue, and that comes, in my opinion, from it's a generational thing where I feel like kids are being protected by their parents. They don't understand responsibility. They don't understand accountability. They don't understand what it is to take responsibility for something and to face the consequences because they're constantly protected and they have hundreds of cards and ways out. I feel like my generation was the last generation where, people believed in the hard way, right? Like, if you fuck up, you get smacked in the face, and you learn your shit that way, right? Like that was the last generation. Now it's protect. You fuck up. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Come here. Like it's the, does that make sense? Like that's where we're headed.
I think that people do use more things now to like disperse responsibility and kind of misdirect, people being upset at them and blame it on something else or blame it on some sort of structural thing that they can't control in order to minimize their own faults. I think that's absolutely true. People do that all the time everywhere. And I think it's gotten a lot more common now. The problem, I think, is that whenever you take mental illness and you use that as an excuse to treat other people badly or to do something, that is the real issue. I think it's like, who cares if somebody says that they're depressed? It's like, I don't want to go through and make sure and check everybody's depression card and make sure that they actually have depression. Who knows? I think what's important really is to not let people use that as an excuse or a reason to treat other people badly.
Agree.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, it diminishes. I don't know if it diminishes is the right word, but basically it takes away from people who might actually have an issue. And then whenever everybody's like, oh, I have this, I have that. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, what about the people that actually have that instead of like you just saying that just to like excuse yourself for being a douchebag?
Well, I think an important question to ask people that say that they have these things is that, is this diagnosed by yourself or is this diagnosed by a doctor? And I think that's the big difference.
Do you think that medical professionals are overdiagnosing particular?
Before we get to that question, Raj, does anyone have Dankquan added? Andy, do you?
No.
Yeah, I think
as a Discord friend?
Yeah, can you drag Dankquan in here?
I think I got him. I think this is him. Is this him right here? Is that him?
Oh.
Yeah, Chief Keef, that's him.
Yeah. No,
I mean that means him. That's his favorite rapper.
Okay, I know, but like, I just want to make sure that's him. Yeah, that's him.
Do you
That's
really
him.
want to know the answer to that?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, what up, brother?
What's up, dude?
You have a camera?
Yeah.
Hey, Poppy, how you doing?
Yo, what's up, Andy? What's up, Poppy?
What up, baby? It's been a long ass time.
It has been, but it's all good. It's all good. Hold on.
So many memes have been created since, dude. So many memes, and your channel's blown up, dude. Like it's crazy. Like, and a lot of memes that I'm just as guilty for playing on too. Hilarious memes, dude. Your channel.
Yeah, I like yours though. I like yours.
Oh, my memes are good too. Yeah. Wait, which memes? Which?
I
memes?
just like the
monkey
shit.
Oh, the monkey stuff. Yeah, me too, dude.
What are you almost talking about?
We're talking the memes created.
All right, let's camera.
Anyways, Raj, go back to your question about overdiagnosing.
Yeah, look, I don't have any statistics to back this up, but do you feel like doctors, medical professionals are overdiagnosing mental illness, or maybe to add on to that, maybe over medicating mental illness?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors, right? I think that we have more mental illness now than we had before, right? Because, now people don't have to worry about shelter. They don't have to worry about a lot of other things. So they turn inward on themselves and they find problems.
Did you say N-word?
Inward.
Oh, okay.
No, not the other one. It's like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They're at the number 5. They're at the pyramid top, right? And, there are a lot of people that want to find problems within themselves because they don't necessarily have the problems that, like people that came before us had, right? If you're in the Great Depression, you're not going to worry about being depressed in the same way because you're worried about staying alive. I'm pretty sure a lot of cavemen didn't have depression because they were just worried about getting eaten by a lion. There's a lot of
that would make them depressed if they're.
Well, I mean, like you have other things to worry about. Yeah, exactly, and I think that's definitely true. But are doctors overdiagnosing? I think it's very hard to say. I think it's something that's happened.
I think they do.
It's come from both directions, right? I think more people have developed mental illnesses because of the information age and the things that come out of it, and I think also doctors overdiagnose and overmedicate probably. And I mean, I have no data to support this, but it just seems like this would be a logical conclusion if doctors and health industry was working in self-interest, because they would be over-medicating things because they make more money by doing that through the insurance companies. So it would only make sense that if everybody's acting in self-interest, that they would over-medicate and diagnose people with mental illness.
But do you think it has a...
They don't know either, like, is this person like gonna like take his life or something? If we don't get the
I'm gonna extend.
Let's take it.
I'm gonna extend on that and say that I think that maybe some of this medication could cause mental illness too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they definitely bounce off each other.
I think that's a stretch. I mean, like, obviously...
You think it's
dependency. I think you develop a dependency on it.
Well, developing chemical dependency can happen with a lot of things and a lot of different chemicals, right? And developing a psychological dependency can happen with anything, right? People get addicted to games. I mean, I don't really know.
You don't know
how
anything
much
about that, do you, Asmon?
So you think it's a stretch? You think it's a stretch that? You think it's a stretch that these medicines being prescribed could cause mental illness?
Well, I think that it could happen. I don't think that it's happening at a high rate, though.
No, it's definitely not.
Maybe, but I don't really think so. I don't know.
I mean, we don't know, I guess. So I guess we can.
Well, I was kind of thinking too with that whole situation where like the doctors are over prescribing and stuff. Do you think a lot of it might have to do with the fact that doctors are just sick of their patients thinking that they know everything because they checked, WMD for everything, and I know I have this. I know.
I don't really think so. I mean, I'm sure that would annoy doctors, right? Like somebody comes in and they're like, "Well, I read on Yahoo Answers that this is actually what's wrong." Right? Yeah, because Bill, Ken M said 5 years ago that it's because I have peanut butter in my knees. Obviously, of course, doctors are going to be getting annoyed by that. But at the same time, I don't really think that's the reason why they're diagnosing that kind of stuff. No.
How about you, Dankquan? What do you think? Sorry, Raj.
I don't know what we're talking about. I apologize.
Hey, real quick,
I feel like I just got thrown into the middle of a little gladiator.
Oh shit! The Coliseum.
Not to derail.
Christmas, by the way, Dankquan.
Yeah. Not to derail. It is July 26th.
I love the way you talk, by the way.
Oh shit!
I appreciate that.
Like I love it. You're like I apologize. Like it's really good. It's really good.
Thank you. What was your question then?
Someone catch him up.
I was saying it's July 26th, literally more than half a year after Christmas. And you have a Christmas tree behind you.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you just stay prepared? Do you around?
Dankquan, did you go to
okay?
Did you go to BlizzCon, dude?
Yeah, I have gone to BlizzCon.
Oh shit, dude! You play WoW?
Yeah, I used to.
All right, dude. Hit me up if you're gonna play BFA, dude.
See, joke's on us. Dankquan just
I
got
was actually rank 1.
Dankquan just got a 200 IQ. He's got a 200 IQ, and that Christmas tree is actually his fucking marijuana plant. And he's disguised it as a Christmas tree. He's on the next level shit.
Dude. Nah, a pre-lit tree company is actually sponsoring me. I get paid $2,700 a month to keep that up.
That's bullshit, dude. Are you serious?
Can't do that.
Who is it?
Who is who? The company?
Who's the company?
Yeah, who's the company?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh shit.
I don't know. They just send me a
Just getting
check.
a paycheck. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He just wants to keep it all for himself. That's all.
The fact that I live in a place where I could order chicken feet for delivery is pretty awesome.
Why are you
Shout out
buying chicken feet?
Postmates.
Just buy the wings like a normal person.
Well, I'm not saying like
Yeah.
I like chicken feet. I'm just saying that that's an option. I like
Okay,
that.
I can see that.
I'm not gonna order that though.
That's good.
So what are we talking about? The mental health.
We're talking
Oh
about
yeah, so people
go
like
ahead.
so.
You're back.
Basically, do you think that people use mental health as a excuse to do bad things to people, and then say, "Well, because
People
I have
use
this mental health
anything as an
problem"?
excuse to-
Well, yeah, but I mean,
You know what I mean?
obviously, well, I'm just trying to frame the question, so we
I
understand.
know, and I understand, and you should answer Dankquan, but I'm just saying it's crazy how like we obviously have to focus on one thing because that's the topic, but it's crazy how it's like it's not just that, it's like anything in the fucking book. People are shitty, people are notoriously horrible, and we just use any little excuse for anything to cover ourselves up.
That's
and
true.
make us look better. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree with both people. I definitely think, I'm sure people do, but I agree with Andy. I think people use anything. They're like, yeah, simple as that. I think people use anything to complain about.
I think that's true. I mean, everybody's got an excuse. Everybody's got a reason. I think that Tyler was right whenever he said that there's a lot of people now that don't want to take responsibility for anything that they do. Something goes wrong, it's someone else's fault. Something, they do something mean, it's because somebody made them do it, right? And, there's always a way and a rationalization. And I do think that there should be a return to taking responsibility. And if you fuck up, you fuck up. And you know what? That's fine. Just stop fucking up. Everybody fucks up sometimes. It's fine.
You know what? It's funny because the people that we talk about and that we kind of bring up as a discussion are people that don't really matter to us. It's like the internet age is like you see people kind of lash out. Like, did you see what that person did? Or did you see how that person tweeted that? Or this person did that? We're in so many other people's business, and we should be focused and worrying about the people in our actual life. It's
I
just
think
so
that's
everybody's like a little
100%
fucking
true,
nosy Nate.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
it's
because
so
they
much
like to
fun.
feel better by shitting on others.
Well,
Yeah,
not-
exactly.
I'm sorry, Raj.
I was just saying, I think it's kind of fun to hear about other people's business. if I'm being
No,
honest.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's like it's crazy how like the focus shift of like now the internet age of
Nah,
like
bro, like you go to the supermarket, what's on there? It's like Gordon Ramsay having sex with a badger. Like it's a bunch of crazy. Look at the Inquirer, the People magazine, Us magazine. Like there's a million of these, and then you've got like these like middle-aged soccer moms saying, "Do you know what Kim wore on last Tuesday or
that's
something?"
maybe another
Yeah.
form of mental illness. Maybe a new form of mental
think so.
illness is worrying about other people that we don't know's mental illness.
Yeah.
I think that's just mental stupidity.
I
Like-
don't know. I think that's more like it's an escape. It's like a chance for somebody who's dealing with depression and who just wants to like an escape from reality for a little bit. They can put their all into something that actually makes them happy, whether it's getting into someone else's business, worrying about a celebrity. It makes them feel happy, and it just gives them an escape from their own hell.
I don't think it makes them happy at all. I think that they do it to feel better than the person that they're looking at, right?
Well,
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it
you're
is.
looking at it the other way.
They want to feel
I was looking
better
at it
than
like a
other people.
positive tie. Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is the problem with all of social media, all of everything. Like, people are going to post. Generally speaking, people are going to post the best of what they have online for everybody to see. Oh, look at me! I went on this vacation. I'm having so much fun. This and that.
Yes.
They don't post the bull crap. They don't post the stuff that they have to deal with every day.
You're
So-
preaching to the
Oh,
choir.
they do.
I
Exactly. So
100%
you
agree.
see all the good stuff, and then all of a sudden, like, man, that guy's life is so amazing. That girl's life is so amazing, and it's like they think that they have a crap hand. They think that their life sucks, and it's like, no, you're just seeing the highlights. You're just seeing the good part of other people's lives, and you're getting everybody's life condensed into one little app on your Instagram, and you're scrolling through and seeing the best of the best of the best.
I feel like you see both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
sir.
exactly.
You see, like if somebody, it's like, oh, here I am in Cabo. Oh, my grandma died.
Well, you see some of that too.
See, like, oh, you don't see any in between. It's just like,
well, I feel like that's like a tragedy.
Look good. Some people are looking.
But I guess that is a yeah.
Some people post about like something really bad for attention.
It's 3 a.m. and I'm constipated and I'm sitting on the toilet again and I'm not wearing a shirt, right? I mean, that's the be real. Those are the things that you usually don't put on social media.
Right.
Have you guys ever seen the people that purposely act depressed for social media? Like
that's what I was talking about.
What do you like?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
A little bit more. Yeah, like what do you mean by that?
I mean, just let's say they're not actually a sad person, but the way they attack social media is to pretend they're a sad person.
And why do you think they do that?
Maybe just they're targeting a specific group of people that they think they can manipulate and gain follows from. No idea.
Using sympathy.
I guess one thing that because like obviously like everybody has a different definition of that. What are some behaviors of somebody that you would say does this?
Let's see, constantly tweeting that they want to kill themselves. I don't know.
Not good.
Things just looking for attention.
So what do you think people should respond? How do you think people should?
I don't.
Well, that's hard.
Yeah. Well, how do you think people should respond to that though?
Call them out.
Ignore it.
If you really, well, it depends. If they're a random person that you don't know, maybe ignore it. But if it's someone that you do know, like, I think you should definitely like reach out and talk to them and if you know that they're being blatantly fucking, like shitty about something and fake, you should definitely call them out because if you don't, you're going to just enable them like every other person responding, oh, I'm here for you. We all love you. We all support you. It's all the generic fucking replies like, oh no, I'm going to walk on eggshells because this person's sad.
Yeah.
That doesn't help them. A dose of reality helps them.
It's like somebody dies or they commit suicide and everybody posts a suicide hotline to feel good about themselves.
See, this is actually. I'm happy you brought this up, Dank, because this is, for those of you asking why I care or why I brought this up. That's why. Okay, like what you guys just said about how can you tell? Listen, the 10 people that are faking it for attention, they are creating this stigma behind doing that. Where that one person who actually needs the help, who's actually crying out, gets ignored and actually kills himself because the 10 other ones have learned, holy shit, this gets me attention, this gets me views, this gets me money, this gets me this and this and this. I'm going to use this card because they have no morality, no sense of ethics, nothing. And because of that, we have hit a point in society where you can't differentiate real suicide and fake attention-seeking suicide. So there's actual casualties, fatalities. And that's the fucked up part. And that's what's so sad. And that's why I actually disagree with ignoring, even if you don't know them. I actually respond to every single one because you don't know which one's real anymore. You don't know. Yeah. So
but it's also not your responsibility, though.
But I think that they should be encouraged to seek professional help.
Yes.
I think that is what should happen online because none of us are doctors. We are not psychiatrists. We are not even psychologists. We do not know. We cannot help them. Obviously, as a friend, you might be able to say something, but we're not qualified to help in the same way. Right. I think that in order to support somebody that's, crying out for help should be to support them in getting that help.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I do. And that's what you should do. It doesn't matter if they're faking it in this, here's what I'm talking about. Sorry, Andy, I'll let you go after this. Okay. In the moment where they're actually, if they're faking it, which here's my point. It's not for us to decide if they're faking it. We just need to help everyone. Why I bring this up and why I'm mad is because so many people faking it has actually brought into question people saying, just ignore it. Who cares? He's looking out for attention. It's made people do that. And because of that, people are now missing people who are actually crying out for help. And that's why I bring this topic up. Does that make sense? Like 20 years ago, or, back when I was in, high school or 8th grade, if someone was crying for help, it was just the instant thought, at least where I lived, was to help them. Now I've noticed We've reached a point in society where they're saying, oh, he's doing it for attention. Fuck him. Call him out. You know what I mean? But like, what if he's actually just serious and you call him out and he goes and does it? The liability, even the 0.1% chance, the 0.1% chance isn't worth it.
I don't think this is as complicated as a topic as a lot of people make it out to be. I think that these people that say that they have all these mental problems should be encouraged to, go and seek professional help. Yes. And, they should be supported. They shouldn't be like, oh yeah, go do it or whatever. No. Right. But I don't think also, there needs to be any sort of lionization and a, romanticization of mental illness. I think that's what's happened a lot recently is people have romanticized mental illness to the point to where there are some people, it feels to me, there are some people that almost feel like it's kind of cool to say that you have these problems.
Yes.
Of course they meme about it all the time.
I feel like that's
memes about it.
Well, there's a difference, right? There's the, I just want to die or whatever, right? And that's just like a meme and people just say that as a joke. Right. But at the same time, I think that there are other people that try to like take on that persona because they feel like that's something that they see reflected in people that they look up to.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you real quick, just only because it's Greek.
What does he want?
Greek. God, I fucking love you, dude. Yo, GGX gang in chat. Greek with the 5,500 viewer host and the resub for 9 months. Shout out to GGX. I love you, bro. I love you, brother. Thank you so much, man. You're a goddamn great person, and I'm gonna be honest, dude. Those glasses you wear, it's like a acid version of Morpheus from Matrix. It's fucking good shit. I like. It's positive vibes, dude. It's positive vibes for me. It's like a mushroom trip of the Matrix. Have you thought about that? The Matrix is already mushroom trip enough. Now imagine mushroom tripping on the mushroom trip. That's what I see. The mushroom trip version of Morpheus. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. I love you. Anyways, continue, Asmon.
So it's like Super Mario.
Yes.
That was insane.
But
that was it. I mean, like to me, that's the whole. That's really where the discussion should start and end, right? And that way, you kind of you sidestep the issue of trying to distinguish who's being legitimate and who's not. And I think that just asking somebody to seek professional help, and if they don't do that, I think they should be encouraged to do that to a certain point. And then also, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Right. I agree.
But, it's a certain point. If like you keep saying, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say someone you don't know, I could see how seek professional help would be the best bet. But if it's someone you actually know, I feel like that comes off as a little bit cold. And when someone just really is in a deep, dark depression and they're actually contemplating suicide, like the warmth from an actual heartfelt message from a friend, I think might be more important than saying go seek professional help.
Both are important.
I think that's definitely true. I think that really the way that you interact with somebody on social media is a lot different than you'd interact with somebody in real life. Like there's somebody I know from like high school, right? Obviously, I wouldn't just say seek professional help. I would help them, and I would say seek professional help, right? I don't think that they're exclusive. I do both. But I think that for somebody that you don't know, and a lot of these people online, we really don't know them, and many people in chat and in the audience don't really know these people. I think that's the best way to approach it, rather than trying to help somebody that you don't really know, because you don't know what their issues are. And I think it completely sidesteps the issue of figuring out who's being genuine and who's not with their problems.
Here's a big issue. Okay, so here's a big issue I've seen, and this is what I'm talking about once again. Okay, I'm not even talking about the actual. Okay, here's the thing. I see so many people that they don't want to get help. They actually want to not get help so they can keep pulling the card and not be held responsible. That's the issue.
They would rather complain than look for a solution.
Issue. They want to complain. Yeah. They want to have the card to say, okay, I fucked up. Oh, well, I have this. I have this. I have anxiety. I have this. I have this. I have this. I have bipolar. I have whatever the fuck might be, right? Like, that's the problem. If you have an issue, you need to, there's something in your life you have to change. You can't keep going down the road and keep saying the same thing over and over. Does that make sense? And that's a big problem.
Do you know how many people like hear the same thing over and over again when it's something that seems so simple to you? Like, just do this and your life.
Just buy a house.
Just change. You know what I mean? Like, but for them to actually do it, for them to actually like listen to someone's advice and actually just do it, it's like feels
That's
like
half
it's
the
near
battle.
impossible. It's almost near impossible.
It's not a, yeah.
They
So
have these things as crutches, and they're not going to get rid of their crutch because then what do they have to fucking fall back on? You know what I mean?
yeah, real quick, I want to clarify one thing. I saw someone in chat say that's part of the disease, not wanting to seek help. Okay, so let me clarify this in two parts for you real quick, okay? I actually agree with you. People who actually are mentally ill might not want to go get help because some of them may think they have control of it or they don't want to medicate. They can control it. They can, isolate. That's completely different. What I'm talking about is, I'm not talking about people who are sick and don't want to get help because they think they can control it. I'm talking about people who are sick and don't want to get help for the sole and only reason that they want to keep it as an excuse. They don't want to be held accountable, so they pull out their card of it. That's what I'm talking about, and that's the difference.
I think there's so much assumptions there that going down that road is almost never going to be productive. Right. So I think that if you attack it from two different perspectives, right? If you know them personally, try to help them personally. If you don't, just try to offer them, the support to get professional help. And then at the same time, say, even though you have mental illness, you still are responsible for your own actions. And I think if people did those two things, it would remove like 99% of this.
Right. Yeah. So
that's what makes sense to me, at least.
Yes. So I want to give an example of what I'm talking about, okay? Because I think there's one or two people in chat that are disagreeing, and I'm cool with that. I read chat. I want to also answer some questions in chat as well.
Wait, can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
When you say that they're doing this just so they could use it as an excuse, the way that you're phrasing it makes it seem like it's a normal person doing this thing, like, oh, I'm just going to use this as more an excuse. You're talking about someone who's not mentally all there if they're going to do that in the first place. So it's definitely coming from some fucked up mental intention, not from some normal, like, oh yeah, fuck these people, I'm going to keep using this. You know what I mean? It's coming from kind of a silly, crazy place.
Well, here's what it is.
I don't know how it is in America, but if in Sweden, if you are mentally ill and you can't go to work and stuff, you get paid by the government.
How much? You get that anyway, right?
Well,
Yeah.
how much money do you get from the government?
Oh, I have no idea how much it is, but I know that you can survive out of it. Like you can.
I went to Sweden. I saw that they have, but
Yeah.
it was more for disabled people, I think. Really, right?
Well,
Disabled
I think
people
the
that have,
issue is-
I don't know. I'm not very like.
Well, no, what she's saying is true. And there are even places in Canada that have this too, that there are certain different types of mental illnesses that the government will classify as being a disability, and they'll give you money for that.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
completely true.
And they have actual like apartments, right? Like apartment housing. It's government sponsored.
Wow.
Yeah, I went and toured one, right? Candyland, right? In Sweden,
In
they have
Sweden.
these. They have they're like government housing, like apartments, full apartments paid by the state, right?
I don't know about that.
Well, that's
but
what I
probably,
saw
Like
anyway.
if you can't leave, they're gonna help you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay. So the distinction I want to make to Andy, what Andy pointed out was, okay, yes, to someone who has a mental illness or a mental disease, it is ignorant to say or to point out the obvious and say, well, then do this, well, then do this, well, then go to the gym, or, you should be more happy if you wake up early. Like, yes, it is ignorant and it does not work. I myself, I've had bipolar for a very long time. I've dealt with it, and I will tell you, it is a different reality. When it comes to mental illness, the way you should look at it, if you are a normal human being when it comes to, relative to no mental illnesses, the way you should look at it is there's one physical world, and then there's an infinite amount of metaphysical worlds. Do you understand? So when you're a normal person, you're in a physical world, and you're normally in your metaphysical world is either happy or it's sad or it goes on. It's normal. Whereas when you're mentally ill, it's very different. Do you understand?
Well, I see what you're saying. What do you like going into the metaphysical world? Where do you really see people that use drugs going into this, right? Because obviously a lot of people use drugs that are not, the traditional antidepressants to get through, their mental illnesses. What do you think about that, Tyler?
So, in layman's terms, what exactly are you asking?
basically, like, obviously we had this one time, we've had a lot of times where we find out that people that are celebrities end up overdosing on drugs. And I think that a lot of that is kind of an outcome of probably some sort of mental illness or something that they need that they're getting out of that drug. And maybe it's just an addiction, but addictions start with a choice. And whenever that person made that choice, where do you really think like that line is drawn, I guess?
How many dimensions do you guys live your life in?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think when you feel like you kind of already won the race and you already have money and success, and then you're kind of just sitting at your place and you're kind of like, what's next? I think like people have so much free time where they're kind of just like
bored.
All right,
is that what you're saying?
That goes back to not having to worry about anything, right? Like
That's scary.
They're just bored and making shit up, and then they go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Oh, you have anxiety. Here's some Lexapro. You should feel good in about a month or two."
Well, I'm not talking about pharmaceuticals necessarily. I'm talking about like
heroin.
Let's
like
go
cocaine.
Heroin. Let's go do some coke. Like I got no responsibility. Let me go party fucking 5 nights a week and hang out with a bunch of douchebags and sniff lines all night. Like, I've been offered cocaine probably like 5,000 times in my life. I've done it 0.
Oh, come on.
I swear to God in my life, I've never done coke, but I have fucked with pharmaceuticals a little bit. That's the only thing I've ever taken. And
Advil.
people are catbaying me. No, I've taken like a Percocet and like Norco, but I was like just mega careful with it.
Paxil.
The thing that's crazy to me about drugs is like, I know this may be a little bit off topic, but how people have 0 regard to their lives and just be like so risky about what they put in their body. Just like, let's have fun, guys. Like,
well, they're just stupid and they don't take it into consideration. They don't think it's going to happen. I think
so
honestly,
crazy.
I think there's a lot of things in life that can be explained by people who are stupid.
I agree, 100% agree.
They're just dumb.
It falls in the same category. So it's not okay. So this next example I'm going to give you is not exact. It's not exact, but it falls in the same category. Okay. In my opinion, it's sort of like the whole thing about how from whatever age you can first work all the way to age 50, you're sitting there and you're sacrificing everything for money. And then from age 50 to 100, you're sacrificing all your money for that same health you sacrificed for the money originally. And that's the world we live in today. Do you understand? Like, it's not about that people are, it is people are stupid, but it's more of the fact that
real.
They have something in their mind that,
whoa, Jesus.
What, Raj? You like that?
No, you just fucking blew my mind. What the fuck, man? What are you on? Seriously, like, you work your whole life to make money, sacrificing your health, and then you spend the rest of your life with that money paying for your
oh, come on, there's a Kanye West song about this.
Unbelievable. I can't believe
Isn't that like an example of balance, though? Is it that?
No, that's an example of extreme living and impulsiveness, and putting your sights on one thing without regards to other things. It's the exact opposite of moderation. And that's the problem. So when it comes to drug use, it's the same thing. Like, you've justified in your head that it is worth it to take these drugs in this moment, but then 10 years down the road, listen, here's the problem, okay? Here is one quote that will fix what you're talking about, Andy and Asmon. This is one quote that would fix it. Make a decision today that your future self will thank you for. An example of that is, for example, okay, when I was younger, I took steroids. In that moment, I was not thinking. I was only thinking in the moment who I was then, what I wanted in that moment. But I wasn't thinking of my 30-year-old self. I wasn't thinking that I would be a completely different person with completely different ambitions that wants to live a more, safe life and live longer. But when I hit 30, I realized, what complications what have I done to myself? So
wait, people contemplate that every day, though.
They don't.
Of course. I'm not saying every single person does it and lives like that, but I mean, to think that people don't think like, oh, what am I doing now? How is it going to affect me later in life? Like, that's part of daily living, those thoughts.
It's the biggest mistake of daily living. It's one of the biggest human flaws, living in the moment. And the problem is, you know, there was a couple of years where it was about that, live in the moment. But that's
YOLO culture.
Yeah, but that's wrong. You understand? In moderation, it's okay. Sure, work hard for 2 weeks. On the third week, have fun. But the problem with that is it's taken way out of context, and people they're sacrificing, and they don't know they're sacrificing until 20 years down the road, and they're 40 years old, and now they have this or this or this or this health condition. And that's
well, they know. That's the thing, is that they know. It's not like, oh wow, no one ever told me that heroin was bad. Like, they know that. It's the same as like exercising, eating.
Instead of getting a job, I'm gonna live on the streets.
Yeah, it's like, damn, like if only school didn't teach me not to do this.
We know our actions.
Cat food.
I feel like you're both. I feel like you're both. I honestly feel like that's such a high road response.
It's.
Well, how do you?
You've called me high road so many times. Listen.
Well, how do you
here's why it's a high road response. No, here's why it's
on here specifically so he can disagree with you.
Here's my high road response. You're being a fucking dumbass.
Oh.
Everybody lives their life, and they do things, right? They do things. When they do really big things like, buy a house or spend all their money gambling or do a lot of hard drugs, to think that people don't have the capacity to think, some of the choices that I make right now in life are going to affect my future. Duh, that's part of fucking life.
No. Human beings, a majority of human beings, if not all, I want to say all, but I can't because I'll offend a lot, insult a lot of people. But realistically, we don't know what's good for us. And here's why. When you're 16, you think you know what's good for you. 4 years later, you look back, you're like, who the fuck was I at 16? Right now, at 27, I'm thinking, oh, I know everything. I'm good. I'm going to do this. Guess what? At 39, at 39, I'll look back like, who the fuck was that person? Why did I do those things? No, here's the problem. The problem is we don't know what's good for us. We think we know, and we make decisions on that only to find out 10 years later, a whole different philosophy, a whole different way of looking at things. And that's why it is important.
No, I think there are stages in our life where we don't know what's good for us, but I think we reach a level of maturity where we do, to an extent, know what's good for us, but we make decisions to achieve instant gratification, and we know the consequences that are coming down the road. We know what's coming, but we want it now, and maybe something will happen that what I just did will be okay later. Like, we're just going to figure it out.
Or maybe you actually live a better life because you don't walk around like a fucking pussy every day, because you just say, fuck it, dude. Like, let's just go for it. Like, obviously some big choices can completely fuck you later in life. But when it comes to, if you want to be the most conservative, live life by the book, be on fucking autopilot, conform to everything society tells you to do.
It's not about conservative. It's not about conservative being a pussy. It's about what you just said, in my opinion. What you just said, in my opinion, is the primary justification everyone makes to justify the shitty things they do. That is the denial. That is the denial. I think. Yes, that is the denial. I think that a lot of us live in. We think since we're smart. Okay, I know doing heroin's bad. I know it's shit. I know it's bad. But fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I know it's bad. I'm gonna do it.
That's extreme, though. Okay,
it's a justification to do it.
No, there are certain things that are extreme, right? That could really completely fuck you over. That obviously you're like, wow, you were such a dumbass for doing that. But when it comes to being a little irresponsible to kind of make your life a little bit more interesting and to live more and better, then it's worth it. Then you see all these people who kind of live day to day and they're conservative with their money and they're eating fucking granola instead of dipping into the cheeseburgers and that's fine if they want that happy, normal path of their life. But I think sometimes when you make quote unquote the irresponsible decision, that leads to some of the best times in your life.
In moderation.
And life is fucking short. So
moderation.
Do you want at the end of the fucking tunnel be like, well, I lived to 78. You know what I mean? I walked to work every day. I ate my granola. I invested properly in low risk stocks. Yeah, my life was
once again.
My life
Well,
was
I think a good example of this.
I think you're comparing the bad side of the extreme to your good side. No, okay.
But yeah, and
if you look,
I'm not telling you to do the.
I know, but I'm saying,
I'm saying, not telling you to go.
I know.
Life savings in Vegas. I'm saying,
but what I'm
like,
go ahead.
I'm just saying, sometimes turning up the irresponsibility a little bit in your life leads to a more fun life.
But
everybody is irresponsible sometimes.
That goes to my point. Right? That goes to my point.
And I think that it matters like how irresponsible they are. Are you being irresponsible by driving 5 miles over the speed limit? You know, and it's like obviously the faster you drive, the higher the frequency of getting in a wreck would probably be, right? And so I think this is an example of everybody making a judgment call that usually increases risk.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And I think that there's a big difference between, hey, I'm going to increase risk by driving 5 miles over the speed limit versus, hey, I'm going to increase risk in my life by doing heroin or crack.
Yes. Here's my point. So listen, like, yes, everything in moderation, but that's the problem. I believe until you hit a certain age of maturity, like Raj was talking about, we don't know what's good for us. We think we do. We don't know moderation. Most of us don't know moderation. If you look at our lives right now, each of us, if you look at most of our lives, none of us have moderation. Our streaming is not. Like, everything's justified by something else. Do you understand? So what I'm getting at is...
wait. Okay, go. Sorry.
I want to make a point to Andy real quick. So Andy was saying, you know... to the extreme side of being a bore versus doing in the moment things. Sure, the person who dies, you know, saying he did something, awesome, great, but that's assuming he lives till 78 and the other guy lives till 78. No, I guarantee you, if you have all the fun in your life and you're dying on your deathbed at 36, and the other guy that's conservative is dying at 84 with a happy family, and you know the guy at 36 misses out the 50 years of his life, he's not going to say those things were worth it. So there's arguments on the reverse extreme side that I think prove that we don't know what's good for us, and in the moment we can justify it.
Yeah, it's just that's what I'm saying. It's the level of extremes, right?
It's extremes. Yeah. Moderation is key, but my point is we don't know moderation at this age. I don't think.
Well, I think that the issue is that people know moderation. Like, it's not like you haven't gone through society, you haven't gone through school. Hopefully you had parents to tell you, you know, not to do certain things. People knew not to do, like, you know, smoke weed, right? And whenever my friends were 12, they were stealing their mom's flashlight to smoke weed out of it in a pipe, right? I mean, that's you don't need to be told that's a bad idea. Right. I mean, I really don't think that even at 12 years old, you can realize that is a bad idea. I think the issue really is that people, whenever they're younger, they're like, well, this is a bad idea, but it's not going to affect me. And then whenever they get older, they're like, oh, shit, it's affecting me. And that's whenever they change, or they have some sort of like recently I had like I guess I wouldn't really say a health scare, but you know, something that kind of made me question my lifestyle, and it has made me change things a little bit. And it's not necessarily because I didn't know it beforehand. It's because things that happen in your life give you perspective. And I think that's really what encourages a lot of changes. And that happens with everybody, and everybody draws the line somewhere.
Yeah.
I think Tyler, the problem is you're maybe being too general, because if you really want to dissect it, like, all right, what's the moderation on health levels, on drugs, on money? There's so many different topics in your life that, like, in order to make a valid point, like, I think it has to be more specific, because when it's vague, it's like, you know, you're talking about just like everyday life thing, like moderation. You know, what does that mean?
It's such a vast category where I think being vague and generalizing it is kind of what I do. And then, like you said earlier, logically, you can kind of deduce the more specific, you know, end of it.
Yeah, because
I think that you're right.
We can't get.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
We can't get in depth without really diving into what exactly you're talking about. When it's general, it's kind of like we don't have anywhere to go but to start digging deeper into the like different categories of like what you could be talking about and what things you could be accurate with when it comes to like drug use and like, you know, abusing your fucking health because you're in the moment. Then I agree with you. When you're talking about being a little irresponsible with money and making kind of crazy decisions in life, like, you know, moving to a different country on a whim or something like that, I think maybe high risk, high reward, and it's usually worth it in my eyes, you know.
Okay, so
there are things that have a high risk and high, like, here's an example of something that is a high risk, low reward. driving with your eyes closed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yikes.
Like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
you get nothing out of it. And then there's other things like investing in a new company. Maybe that company could be Google, or maybe it could be Enron. You know, and these things change. These things, you know, obviously, like, time will tell if they're good decisions or not. But I don't think that taking risks is always good, and I don't think that not taking risks is always good. I think that, as always, you have to live life in moderation and make decisions as they come.
How do you think prostitution should be legal, Asmongold? Like the act of a woman selling her own body,
Or man.
not like a pimp, not a pimp.
I'm thinking about it. Because I've gone back and forth on this, and
I guess anybody could answer.
This goes into our.
Yeah.
This goes into.
I think it should be legal.
This goes into our exact topic that we just talked about. If you think about it, right? Like,
in a way,
some sort of conclusion has to be made, and some sort of agreement has to be made to what age are you mature enough to understand that that today you and the future you are different, and today's decisions will affect your future decisions, et cetera, right? Your future life. That's the age where I think prostitution should be legal. But if a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old says, I'm going to be a prostitute, does she actually, or does he actually know what life he or she is getting into? Do they actually know what's going on?
Well, does somebody know whenever they're 18, whenever they're going to go into the military and maybe get shot in a year? Do they know what life they're getting into? No, they don't.
Exactly.
But that's what happens. Do people know whenever they sign a contract with a university for $30,000 in debt to get a degree in gender studies that has no job openings? Do they know what they're getting into? No, they don't. I think that to a certain extent, you can't protect people from themselves. The best thing that you can do is you can create a society that gives them the morals, that gives them the ethics, and it gives them the perspective to make the right decisions for themselves.
Yeah. Do you care about people's like personal judgment about you, Asmin?
Fuck them.
He doesn't give a fuck.
So are these all like personal judgments? And if it's fuck them, then should the people
there's a difference,
that are doing
right?
these things, should they say fuck your opinion? Like,
I think that, are you talking about in terms of prostitution or like in a larger sense?
Like almost anything. Like, I don't know.
I think that you can look at it in terms of ethicality versus morality, right? And so ethicality, like if you want to use it from that perspective, right? Ask yourself, if I did this, is it okay? Okay, you know, even if you think it's okay, if everybody in society did this, would society function? And if the answer is no, then it's usually unethical. Now, there are plenty of things that can function perfectly in society that each individual makes a moral judgment on. And I think that the prostitution really kind of falls in between the two. And the issue with prostitution is the same thing with a lot of drugs, especially like with weed, is that people are going to do prostitution. There are prostitutes everywhere, right? This is never going away. It's called the world's oldest profession for a reason. And that's not going to stop. That's it. And so,
go ahead.
It's hard for me really to say that making something illegal doesn't make it go away. It might make it happen less, but is that a good thing for the people that still partake in it? Because there are people that are involved in prostitution, and because it's illegal, it might make it more difficult for them to move out of that sphere.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. What always like kind of confused me though when it came to that topic is how a porn director could pay a girl to have sex on film, where I guess there's benefit for people outside of just the women. I guess like men would benefit from being able to watch it, but if the girl wanted to go get fucked and make money for herself, then that's where like, you know, the laws come into.
Well, I think it's an example of the law being a parody of itself, right? And there are a lot of laws that don't really make a lot of sense. Like you can go on Google and look up, 20 different ridiculous laws in different countries. Like, oh, you can't marry a raccoon in West Virginia because one time in, 1910, some dude tried to marry a raccoon. And yeah, obviously, like there are things like that. And
no high fives. There's a casino I went into in Nevada. It said no high fives or you'll get kicked out of the casino.
Wow.
That sounds cool.
Was that in Vegas? What part of Nevada?
I think it was in Reno somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
But yeah, I think that's really where I stand on it. I don't really have like a very strong stance on prostitution. But if it was legal, I think that would probably be better for more people. But there are a lot of moral arguments that you can be made against it. And I don't think that moral arguments are always bad. Usually I think that they need to be backed up by some sort of thing that's beyond morality. But at the same time, morality does matter, and I think that's kind of the mortar that holds the blocks of society together.
Well said.
So there was one thing I want to bring another topic I want to talk about here, and I actually retweeted this a while ago, and like the retweet says, I don't really care. I don't think anyone in the chat really cares. But I think it goes back on exactly like a big thing going on right now. The thing I retweeted reads, I don't follow face censor or care about it, but I just find the double standard funny. People hating him because he chose money, goals, and career first over his relationship because his now ex, Janet, is attractive. But if she did it, it would be empowering with people praising her. Whereas he's a pig. And he's a disgusting, right? Like, so I see.
He left a supermodel because she's hot. He shouldn't have left her.
I feel like a lot of the feedback that I saw was overwhelmingly supportive of him. Honestly, I mean, obviously there were a lot of people that are mad and they think that he's stupid for doing that are more or less probably jealous that he had her as a girlfriend. That's my opinion. And I would say also a lot of the people that are saying that he's stupid for doing that probably don't have girlfriends at all.
Ever.
True.
Why did he leave this girl? I don't know anything.
To focus on playing Call of Duty in his career as like a professional
I think she made him choose between. I believe she made him choose between her or like more time with her and give up gaming, or he does gaming and loses her.
But anybody that would give you that fucking
ultimatum.
Ultimatum. He should have left her. If that's what happened.
I don't think that's true.
We should get face censored here.
I don't think that's true at all, because in any sort of a relationship, you have to set boundaries and like how much time. Like if you're actually spending a lot of time on your career, I don't think it's out of place at all to come to your significant other and say, hey, this isn't enough time for us, and I don't feel comfortable with this.
But to give it as an ultimatum.
Well, we don't know that happened, to be
fair. It's not the gaming itself. It's the amount of time he's investing in his professional career. And if she wants to have something that's more than that, I don't feel like it's wrong for her to ask him to spend more time.
It's not wrong for her to ask him, but it's wrong for her to give him an ultimatum.
Well, I don't think so at all. Really. I mean, like if you imagine you want to start a family with somebody, you want to have a life with somebody, and they're very involved with their career and they're focused on their career and they really want to do that. I think that it's better for both people for them to pursue something that they care about and something that fulfills them.
No, and look, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with having to come to that process, but to come to him and be like, it's either me or your career. That's an ultimatum, and that's not a productive discussion.
I mean, like whenever what does the career manifest itself as? Go ahead, go.
I feel like there's a lot of shit that probably led up to that, to where it's like, all right, now is the time you need to make a decision. It wasn't just one day randomly out of thin air. By the way, either more time for me or the game. I think there's probably a lot of shit that built up to that, to where it's like, look, now's the time, make a decision, because I need to know, or else I'm moving on. I don't think ultimatums are always fucking bad.
No.
Just people think that it's like such a bold him or me thing, or the game or me thing. So it's like, oh well, if you're testing me with like in making me choose, then I'm choosing this.
But it usually is one of those situations. It is you need to choose me. It's a bold move.
It's like this is his whole career. Like this dude makes YouTube videos all the time. He does social media all the time. He's practicing for Call of Duty probably all the time. He's probably spending 8 to 10 hours doing this. Does she want to have a relationship with somebody that's spending 8 to 10 hours on their career? Maybe not. I don't think that's selfish of her.
Well, any actual man that is a man that wants to build and provide is going to have an 8 to 10 hour 10-year period where they work 8 to 10 hours a day, right? Like that's just being a man. If she wants to date a boy, then that's terrible. She can date a boy that has, lives at mom's and has no job. When I say lives at mom's, I'm saying stereotypically like no job, nothing to worry about, right? Like, someone like you, Asmon, you stream how much? Like 180 hours a month? Like that's a man, right? Whatever it is, like Andy, me, Raj, like, Dankquan, we're men.
Oh, not me.
I'm a
Don't
boy,
put
maybe,
me in
okay?
that. I stream 24 hours a month.
I have boy legs, okay? I have boy legs, but I'm a man, okay?
I wish I could stream.
The point is...
Well, I know what you're saying, right? I know what you're saying, and I think it's very hard for us to really draw judgments on who's right and who's wrong in this situation because we don't really know their personal lives, right? Maybe this dude is he only has like 2 hours a day to spend with, his prospective like wife, right? Maybe that's not enough for her. Maybe there's something more to it. I mean, do you really think that a Twitter headline is the entire culmination of their relationship? Probably not. There's probably a lot more that goes on to it.
But an ultimatum because on the other side of the stick, she could have been like, you're playing that game too much. You don't really have that much time for me. I'm sorry, but this is not going to work out. And then left. She at least gave him a choice. She by giving someone a choice, you're like at least like saying, look, there's a chance we can make this work.
And
you know what I mean?
Chances like maybe he already has enough money to basically necessarily like because he needs the money. It's because he likes doing it. And I think there's a lot of facets to it. And the only
I think he accidentally. I think he accidentally pulled the computer.
No, listen. My cord of my Sennheisers, they're tangling, and it's causing like There's a
fire.
Oh shit.
Wait, what? There's a fire.
No.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, like I said, guys, Scuffed podcast. Continue your conversation.
About Yannette, like she wants to be an actress and she wants to stay being a weather girl. Like she does that in Mexico. Like that requires a shit ton of traveling, no time for the relationship either. So if she's going to offer that ultimatum for him to give up his dreams to follow her around, that's kind of fucked up.
Is that what
Ultimatums are bad.
I guess we're still.
I don't like ultimatums. I think, and I don't know what led up to it.
Well, who's to know that he's balancing?
I don't think they're productive.
Well, it goes both ways.
It's okay. The relationship didn't work out.
Because an ultimatum.
Exactly.
Oh well.
That's the
They
thing.
tried.
I really think there's probably a lot more to it. And that's why I think that discussing the idea of like, choosing a career over a family and, what level of each should you have and, how can you make that balance? And if somebody's not happy with that balance that is with you, I think that you can work to try to achieve a balance or
Agreed, but an ultimatum is not a way to get there.
Well, what do you mean? It's not a way to get there. How else?
Have you experienced an ultimatum, Raj?
Well, look, if you get to an ultimatum, I just think it's immature. Just leave them. If you've gone through the process and you have to get to a point where there's an ultimatum, obviously it's not working.
Yeah, but
You know what?
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like there are plenty of relationships that are successful after an ultimatum. Sure. I mean, is it something that's generally toxic? Yeah, I think so. And it depends on what the ultimatum's on, right? Is it, you need to stop playing video games or I'm going to
What are you talking? I just said it was generally toxic. You just disagreed with that.
No. Here's the thing.
You said it was toxic.
There are some things where you're putting your significant other in such a bad situation and make such a difficult choice that, like, if you really cared about them, maybe you would try to make it work in another way than an ultimatum. Like, an example is like, I hate my stepmother. Like, it's either your mom or me. Shit like that, where you're like, you want me to disown my mother because you don't get along with her? That's what ruins marriages. That's what ruins relationships. When it comes to like compromising, and I think basically to play devil's advocate with myself, to like say fuck ultimatums, it's more about compromise. Coming from a place of like, let's compromise, you dial this back, I do this, We meet in the middle. We try to make it work. But when it comes to like some huffy, like you either do this or I'm gone, then it's kind of like, well, you're putting me in a fucked up position, and you're being like, oh, it's either this or I'm gone. Then fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're talking
And
about
also,
the
I want to dial this back for a second and say that everything is editorialized. Do you guys really think it was just an ultimatum? Probably
That's
not.
what I said. I said there's a lot
Of course.
Yeah,
but
we're arguing under the context of what we're aware of.
Right, exactly.
That's
and
what we're going to deal with. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
with everything that we talk about, we're not going to know the full context of the
Well,
situation.
exactly. And so I personally don't think that I don't expect that it was something like, hey, you need to stop doing all of this or I'm going to break up with you. What I would kind of assume is that it was something where the relationship deteriorated over time because of the amount of investment that maybe he put into his career and she put into whatever she was doing. And then it got to a point where, you know, it was just, it wasn't recoverable. That's what I would
I
kind
can
of
agree
assume.
with you. There's more to
Yeah.
this story.
Of course.
I can agree with you.
Always.
Yeah, there's more to this story.
I mean, shit, if any of the relationships, I think they kept their shit private better than any relationship I've ever seen. They did a pretty good job, like not showing drama or anything like that.
What do you guys think about duck fried rice? Have you ever had
Beautiful.
Really good.
No, never
Had that.
Duck
Really,
fried
really good.
rice?
it? Yeah.
Chat, who's had that? Chat, who's had that? Has anyone had that, chat?
I've heard duck is pretty good, but I don't know about duck fried rice.
Yeah, fried duck is really good too.
So
Why do you let your chat room be AIDS? I know you're saying free speech, but this is like, you can't
It's pretty
even.
bad.
So today, this
works
morning,
itself out.
this morning I woke up and it was hot, and I went out in my living room and I realized that my AC had broken, and I live in Austin, Texas, and it's about 100 degrees out here, and I spent about 8 hours today figuring out how to stream. And is the audio good?
Dude,
I want to.
that delay was nuts. You see that? They said me just now. Just now they said
good.
me.
Oh. Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
So the audio is good,
Whoa.
right?
What? They're
Yeah.
just saying me.
Well, no. The
Okay.
delay on your stream is because the like you had a mini disconnect. It jacked as like it happens sometimes on IRL streams too. Like you'll
Might
notice
need to refresh it.
Okay.
No, don't refresh. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, just leave it.
What were they saying? Me too.
No, they're
I
just
said,
duck fried rice.
Duck fried rice.
Yeah, that was like 45 seconds.
yeah. It's like a 30-second delay on it, I think.
So my audio is good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that sounds good. How'd you fix your AC?
I didn't. I went to Home Depot and I bought an AC machine, and
Yeah.
then I have it down there where it's basically leaking onto the floor, which will mold over in a few days. And I put a bunch of blankets over the attic, and this is supposed to work until the AC guy comes out. You know, whenever the fuck he feels like it. You know, because it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, I'm not going to die tomorrow from a heat stroke during my stream.
Is that why you're wearing a white shirt instead of a dark one?
I thought he always wears white.
No, he always wears dark shirts.
Really?
What is so funny?
I wore a white T-shirt. What are you so mad about now?
I'm not mad. I'm just asking if
I
that's
wore a
why.
white T-shirt because
No,
I
I'm
hadn't
not saying-
showered in a long
I'm not-
time.
I'm not
and I
saying-
thought that if I here's why.
Oh my
Is because I thought it would be a very good comparison because I look like shit right now, right? Especially this morning. I haven't showered for like 3 days, 4 days, and it's hot. So I've got my neck beard, I've got this, I've got
Oh,
my hair
sweaty
going
gooch,
everywhere, and
swamp
I'd have a white
ass.
T-shirt, and it would make me look like just a straight up fucking animal. And so I was like, you know what, that'll be funny for me to do on stream because then people look at me and they'll laugh. And that's why I did the white T-shirt. And sometimes I like wearing white T-shirts too. So yeah, you're trying to call me out.
I'm not
No,
trying
the
to call
air-
you. I'm
the air
asking if that's
conditioning-
why. Because
No, that's not why. Why
yes,
would
that is why. Because dark materials absorb heat and white reflects it, right?
No.
So I'm asking.
No,
Dark.
that's
dark,
a mirror.
Dark.
That's not a
shirts-
meme.
Dark shirts attract the sun, not heat.
Yeah.
Well, either
Exactly.
way, right? It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's the exact same thing.
Wait, you said
You're a fucking troll.
Wait, no, you're a troll. Wait, dark shirts attract the sun, but not heat?
dark.
What does that mean?
They store
Basically
heat.
what happens is-
That does what he means is they store heat better.
They take the energy from the sunlight and they get hot faster, basically, because of how the rates work.
That's
I'm not
all
in
I'm
the
asking.
sun.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
but it's not. It's
I'm not in the sun, dude.
It's not heat directly.
Like I'm in
We're
my house.
outside. That's all I'm asking. You said you went to fucking Home Depot.
Yeah, I went to Home Depot.
Okay, well then that's where my question's coming from,
It
dumbass.
has nothing to do with Home Depot. Why would I wear a white T-shirt for something that do you really think that I put this on today? I've been wearing this shirt for like 2 days.
You're right. It was a dumb question. You never think about what
I
you're
know it was a
wearing.
dumb
I mean, look at
question.
you, dude.
What?
All right. Anyway,
Look, I just hope that it's not hot tomorrow. I hope they fix my shit, dude. This is ridiculous.
So the unit you bought isn't working.
Well, it's like I buy this fucking thing. It's $300, and I go in my room and it's like 81 degrees. It should be 61 degrees because I spent $300 fucking on this.
Yeah.
It's like insulating this with blankets and shit. It took forever.
Yo,
It took like 5 minutes, but that was a long time.
Asmon, Andy, Dankquan, and whoever else wasn't here. Real quick. So, my preview of my merchandise just got to my house. Tell me what you think about
So
this.
good.
Okay, I want your honest
Turn on stream.
opinions. Okay, like I feel like
Turn on stream.
this.
The shirts are really good.
I feel like this may be the best merchandise on Twitch.
Okay.
Now tell me what you think. Okay, they just got here in their packaging. I opened it during the intro, so the paper's right there. But I'm gonna show you the shirt. Here you go. So there's two of them. Okay. So here is the shirt. Okay. Here's the shirt. This is the shirt. Ape Gang. Okay. So you see Ape Gang right here. Ape Gang, and the shirt's right here. Wait,
I'm waiting for the 30-second
It's a
delay.
lot. Yeah,
That's a long delay.
Oh yeah, I gotta open the stream. Hold on.
We can't do it on Discord because you
you're
can only
right.
show your cam to one location.
So here's the shirt.
What you can do next time is you can do it in Discord and then camera capture your Discord and then just put that on there.
Yeah, then it's not the Scuffed podcast at that point.
Oh, I like that one. I like the first one that you showed.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
The shirt
That's
is
my
sick.
favorite one.
They're sweet.
Yo, that's
They're really
badass, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, the shirt is sick.
That's actually really cool.
And here's the
Yeah.
tank top. Here's the tank top.
I like the Illuminati.
it's okay.
You love it.
The tank top.
I'm not gonna buy one.
Those are so sweet.
Ooh.
Pretty nice, huh? And,
Yeah, it's all right.
and guess what? Guess what?
I like the first one.
Guess what?
What? Chicken butt?
It's not. You know, the site's not going to release, and everything's not going to be ready for another at least 3 weeks. But I'm giving some pre-ordered shirts that aren't obtainable at least for another month. I'm giving them away on the stream. How crazy is that?
Fuckers.
I love it, dude.
How
I think
crazy
that's
is
a
that?
great idea, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I really think that's a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you. But anyways, so to get back on the topic of the stream, I wanted your opinions. Andy, what'd you think about it?
I mean, I like the triangle ape. I don't know how to. I don't hate it at all. I would wear it. I think it's a cool looking tee, but I'm also not gonna give you like fake excitement either. Like, oh my god, it's the craziest shit I ever seen.
Are you gonna buy one or not?
I mean, can you give me one?
We didn't give you one. What are you talking about? Give you one. Just buy one.
Influence.
Is he gonna buy one of my shirts?
Andy,
That's
did
right.
you put Andy Milanakis on that shirt that I told you about?
Oh no, I didn't do it, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, I want to buy one, but
Okay, I'll change it for you. You want me to change my artistic vision for my merchandise just so you could buy one?
yeah, put your name on it.
Okay.
Or you could just sign it and spike the price up $1,000.
I'm gonna sign it at TwitchCon.
Will you do that? Will you sign my shirt?
Yeah, if you buy one.
Okay.
So,
All right.
to get back on topic or off topic, Asmon, was there something you wanted to talk about? You know,
Yeah, it's fucking hot. Like, that's the only thing I really had to say. That's the moral of the story, is that it's hot as hell in Texas in July.
Well, yeah, that's obvious,
It's hot
dude.
everywhere, I think.
Dude, it's hot as hell in Texas in June.
What about Europe? I heard it's pretty hot in Europe right now. These guys are melting.
Yeah, it's been
What
insane.
do you think the chances are? I invited Greek. I don't even have my ticket yet, but and Dank, I know you're getting your passport soon, but I invited Greek to Santorini. It's like the most beautiful island in Greece, pretty much.
Wow.
And he's already in London, so it's only a few hours away.
Do you think he's actually going to go?
He pulled up the Google images and just blew his mind. He was talking about how much he loved it. I weighed out the pros and cons for him. And then he's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to actually go. But you ever want one of your friends to do like rally with you so hard and you just know so many of your friends just won't?
Yep.
Like when it comes to like going places or just being on the same page or just doing something, it's so hard to get your friends on board with shit, you know?
Dude,
I think that's true. Absolutely.
I fucking relate to that very, very hard.
I hate that because you just like know that your mood could just be like.
But it's because a lot of my friends in real life don't work the same type of job and they have like 9 to 5. So it's like, hey, you guys want to go to Europe? And they're like, oh, I gotta
work.
work.
I asked people that could actually do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, I would just say, I don't know.
totally hear you, Raj. I totally hear. I'm in Allison.
Yeah.
I totally hear you. Like, there's some people that it's just not realistic.
Yeah.
To ask for certain things.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's been hard for me to grow up a little bit.
I hate growing up, dude. It sucks.
It's hard because it's like all your friends, like we live
right? Like I went. This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. Not really, but it's bad. I went to Walmart and a buddy of mine was working there from high school, and he had gray hairs. Like that, honestly. Like I went home after that and I lay down. Like I was not happy about that situation.
How old are you?
Wait, what happened?
I went to Walmart. No, Esfand, you were there.
I was there.
You were there, and he had gray hair. Yeah, that's where we bought the bed. And Esfand and I, we met a friend of mine from high school, and he had gray hairs.
Oh man!
And it was just a few, but
it was enough.
It was enough. It was enough to make me have a quarter life crisis.
Dude,
You think you're gonna have gray hairs before Vanilla Wow comes out?
You never know, man.
But what are you afraid of? To get
dying
older or dying?
I mean, for people like me and Asmon, it's not even about being scared of having gray hairs. It's about keeping any hair we can. You know what I'm saying?
Aww.
That's what me and Asmon have to worry about every day. I mean,
that's true, dude. I've been thinking actually about doing a YouTube series on my second channel. I'm gonna call it Balding Out, and it's gonna be where I take different male hair growth supplements, and I'll probably die from one of them, but we'll
hey, you know what's fucked up? I don't think I'm losing my hair.
No, you're doing fine, dude.
I think I'm all right, but I was looking into like hair surgeries and stuff for like just in case,
Yeah.
And because that's what people do, and so it's what's really fucked up is that like you could get the surgery, but then you'll lose hair behind it, so you'll just have like, so like
I've seen people that have had that shit happen, dude.
Yeah, so like you can't win.
Well, like Elon Musk is an example, right, of somebody that did win. But the thing about Elon Musk is that he's a billionaire.
Right. So he's winning anyway.
We should do a donation goal tomorrow for me to be a billionaire. Then I can get that done.
I thought you were gonna say donation goes from Elon Musk. That'd be dope if we're like, yo.
Well, I tried to tweet at him, but he ignored me.
Actually, I commented on why I think he ignored you. I commented that same night. Okay, so here's why I think he ignored you. Okay, when I read that, I took that as in you don't like Elon and you were roasting him, because like if you word something like, hey, why don't you go go land on the sun, I'm sure it's cooler at night, like you're taking it as a joke, you're making a funny joke, you think he'll laugh, but maybe he doesn't know your personality. He's taking it as, yo, fuck you, buddy. Go fly into the sun, idiot. Right? Like, so I thought maybe he took it as you were being a little like sarcastic, and he's like, yo, fuck this guy. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's the way I thought.
I can see what you're saying. If I could have asked for a perfect response, I would have loved to have him say, sure, when do you want to go? But I guess that's probably not going to happen.
I don't know if I ever told this story on Twitch, but my Did I tell this shit to you guys when I tweeted Elon Musk?
What did you tweet him?
I don't remember what I tweeted him, but he didn't even answer. But here's the thing with Twitter. If someone's following both people and you tweet, even if you start your tweet with an @ symbol, if I say like I was following you, Asmin, and you, Dankquan, even if you start it with an @ symbol and say @Dankquan, blah, 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 blah.
Still on
if
that
I'm
timeline.
following both of you, it goes on my main timeline because I'm following both of you, so it's relevant to
Yeah.
So basically, I tweeted Elon some shit, and these two girls that were following Elon and me read it, and they hit me back. They're like, hey, we saw you tweeted Elon. We work for SpaceX. If you ever want a private tour, like, hit us up. We're fans. And I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't even realize this, but
That's badass,
SpaceX is like right by LAX in fucking Los Angeles. So I hit them back. They arranged it. I brought one of my best friends, who's the one who put me to Elon Musk in the first place. I went to fucking SpaceX. They were like, no cameras. It was very fucking strict. I went in. We toured around for fucking 4 or 5 hours. They showed us actual fucking space shuttles and shit that they were building for the space station. And they showed like us with the engineers actually working on the shit. And we just walked around the whole fucking place for like 4 hours. It was like the nerdy version of Willy Wonka. It was insane.
That shit is crazy. though.
That's honestly
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
cool, man.
Yeah, just
that's
from
crazy.
a tweet, just from me being like, I'm gonna tweet Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, so cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah, really. So did they let you do anything cool, like get in any of the rocket ships or what?
No, they didn't. But like they showed
Go
us
to
like
Mars
one
real
really
quick.
cool one. They showed
Yeah,
us like the
just
seats
real quick.
inside, and they showed us you know, they just kind of like went into nerdy detail about like which one is going where and like what they're gonna send up there and blah blah blah. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
I had a really good
Yeah,
topic I wanted to talk about after
Okay,
I
go
brought.
ahead.
No, I had one. I brought that face sensor thing up as like a opener to.
Yeah.
It was unrelated, but it was just like I wanted to talk about the face things was so small, and then I forgot the topic. I'm very disappointed. It was a good topic.
So Soda Poppin got banned for a day because he showed a dick on his stream, and it was a cowboy.
That was a cowboy.
Hey, did you make a guest appearance on his stream?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Wait, a cowboy what?
Well, it was a
a
cute
cowboy
dick.
transmog.
Yeah.
It was a
Wait,
cute
what,
dick. It
Asmon?
was.
Wait,
When was it a good
It was a cute
transmog?
dick because it had on, you know, the cowboy hat and everything. Like, if I saw it for like 1
dick on
second,
the stream.
I'd be like, cool. I mean, if I saw it for 2, I'd be like, what the fuck, right? But that 1 second, I'd be like, all right, cool, little cowboy.
When did that happen?
Wait, I don't get it. A cowboy dick?
It's not now. It's not.
No. So the guy took a picture of his dick with a outfit of a cowboy on his dick. So like, you see what I'm saying?
Cowboy.
Yeah, so like he
Yeah.
couldn't tell it was a dick.
Well, it was pretty obvious, but
Cowboy.
No,
Yeah.
dude, you know what, dude?
Not at the first sight.
Yeah, I couldn't. If I didn't know before I saw the clip what it was, I would not have been able to tell right away.
yeah, exactly. Well, I am proud to say that I have not shown a dick on my stream yet.
That was a pure penis. I don't know. How did no one see that? It was the first thing I saw. I was like,
Well, it's like
that's a
you're,
pee-pee hole.
you're streaming and you're thinking about a million different things, and you just pull the picture on there, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is it. Like, what do you guys like? I mean, in my opinion, I think if a couple of dicks get through, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, everyone has a dick. I mean,
Who
these.
cares? I mean, it's not like
Yeah, every single.
like-
I mean, these days.
Everyone,
That's
one gender.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because it's like what the. Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
Because then
Who
you've got,
cares?
because here's the thing, right? Now you've got everybody's trying to post dicks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's weird, right? I mean, it's not a
Like,
big
he
deal.
tried to take it away immediately. I don't
They
know,
should
he
look
took
at
it away
intent,
immediately.
is what I think.
Well, yeah,
they should look
it's-
at intention. Like if
exactly.
he's jerking
It's
the
like-
dick off, then maybe it's a little
Yeah,
different.
he's like,
yeah,
you know, he's putting it on the
Suck it,
screen and
yeah.
you're putting your mouth next to it. Yeah, obviously. You know, this is a problem.
You made a mistake because you got a donation. You're banned. Like, that is so stupid.
I think it's stupid.
Yes.
And like, see, here's the thing: is that I think that they're too conservative in that way, right? Is
Yeah.
that if I mean you've got to give people some leeway. I mean, like you get callers that get into CNN, right? I mean, so does like a guy in his room. But you get callers that get into CNN and they say something stupid.
Or fuck them right in the pussy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
All the time. That's the best example I can think of. And like streakers, etc. Like, is the news organization going to get shut down because of this? No. It's the way it goes. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, if it's happening, like, all right, if a dude is showing a dick every 5 minutes, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a lot of dick.
That's a lot of dicks. That's right.
Yeah. Here's the problem, to be devil's advocate real quick, okay? So like, I completely agree with all of you guys, but to be devil's advocate real quick.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. This falls back to every conversation I've ever brought up. The reason this happens is because of the same thing that we all learned back in first grade. It's always that one asshole that ruins it. And what I mean by that is not chance. What I mean by that is if they don't ban this, and like yes, there should be oversight where it's intent, where it's context, but I don't think they have enough. You know, I think they're trying to make an example of them, et cetera, et cetera. But it's the people, it's the fucking shameless fucks in the Twitch community, the shameless fucks. I can name one right now, one streamer in the IRL section. It's just the shameless people that if that wasn't bannable, they would grab that dick, they would use it in any way possible, and they would bend the rule and say, "Oh, I wasn't using it sexually," and they would milk it in a sexual way, but without doing it on the edge like they already do on the edge. That's the
metaphorically and literally. I like that.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
How about this? If you want to do media donation, it's risky. You're putting yourself out there somewhat to be risky. How about this? You get caught with a dick on your fucking media mentions, you can't have any fucking alerts for fucking 3 days.
No, it's wrong. No, listen. I think that's stupid. I think any censorship of that is retarded. And I hate to use that word. I hate to use that word, but I think it's dumb.
I think it's if you had to pick between a ban and that. I'm saying, like, if you had to pick, I don't think they should be punished at all for it because it's not their fault. It's a fucking mistake that some troll got through. But I'm saying if you had to pick one or the other, like, I would rather punish them in a different way than actually banning their channel.
Yes.
That's like so extreme.
It's just, well, I think we're not talking about people that are like putting dicks in context. I think it's just like a flash of a dick or like a flash of
if it's a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, so basically, I think that if a streamer reacts to it and they start laughing and it's really, really funny, then yeah, it's kind of an issue, right? Because it encourages more of the behavior. But if you see it and you're like, oh, my bad, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I think that if there is a protocol of this happened, I made a mistake, you turn off your stream, you delete the VOD, and you turn it back on, and you just keep going, I think that's fine.
I agree.
I do. And I think that Twitch needs to, they need to stop figuring out and creating reasons to punish people on the platform.
I agree.
Especially for things that are, of course, they are within his control. And I have a rule where I do not ever click links, and that's why, right?
Well,
that's why.
It's almost absurd. Like the click links thing, not so much. But
yeah,
like everybody has TTS on their donations. Like the fact that you're like, okay, well, I don't even want to put TTS on my donation.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Exactly. Like, to me, it's absurd. Like, not what you're doing is absurd, but the fact that it's an issue is absurd.
The fact that I have to be that conservative, right?
You have to walk on eggshells.
And then they give the power to the people that are trying to do this kind of thing.
Exactly. I think it's empowered a lot of people.
It probably wouldn't even happen that much. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even happen that much if it wasn't against, like, if it wasn't against the rules, people wouldn't even care.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think so. I think that's true.
As big of a thing.
And like maybe it would be like if you find a few people that just do it over and over, you get rid of them, etc. Right. And I think that just if the person responds to it in a way that's not provoking it to happen more, what's the problem?
No,
I feel like they come up with so many reasons, and here's why they're doing it. Right, they're doing it for advertisers because if Coca-Cola is like, hey, why is there a dick next to my ad? Right, that's why they're doing it. And it's disappointing.
Always dick a oh, sorry.
Well, it's not like, and this isn't like an SJW thing at all. This is just purely a company being too conservative to the point where they end up hindering the creative freedom of the people on their website, which is the reason why people go to the website in the first place.
Now, I will tell you this. They do. So when a dick comes on the screen, you're banned for 24 hours, right?
Not always. Not always.
If it's your first time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's your first dick.
No, there is some context to it. There really is some context to it, but like it's hard. You have to get lucky for there to like. It just depends. It depends on. It's like whether there's context depends on the context. It's so weird. It goes
right, like erect or flaccid.
But they. I think they should. I don't know how do I say this. I don't really want to go into this. If somebody comes on your show and says the N bomb, right? Drops the N bomb, right? That now. If that happens, the broadcaster deals with it. It gets off. Usually, you don't have to. Usually they don't really even say anything to you. Why don't they deal with things like dicks coming on the screen in the same way?
Yeah.
Well, I think that, and that's another issue, right? Is because I'd love to have people come on and kind of call in to the stream, right? I can talk to them about an issue, but I can never do that because I'm just so worried about them saying something that's going to get me in trouble. And at the end of the day, I understand the fact that it's my stream and it's my responsibility, and that's why I don't let them do that. But I feel like the creative freedom that restricts is not worth the gain that they potentially have. I think that most people can look at a mistake that a broadcaster makes in a realistic way and not say, yeah, this is because this person is actually a secret racist or an asshole or something like that.
What is the fucking point of the maturity tag then?
Well, I don't. That's a good question. What is the difference?
So here's the thing: if you have the fucking maturity tag, why don't they just make it where if an advertiser has a problem with that sort of content and your stream has the maturity tag on it, why don't they just not show the fucking ads? That way it's not a concern for the stream.
Because Twitch doesn't make any money. Yeah. That's how they make money is with ads. I think that's a pretty commonly known thing.
Okay, so then what here's the thing. Then what you're saying is that Twitch cares more about the money than they do the actual people.
That's life.
That's business.
Here's the thing. I think and who knows, right? But you have the potential to make your platform better. You have the potential to make it to where more people are watching certain types of content if maybe the maturity tag does do something. And it's like, okay, well, look, these advertisers say they don't want to be a part of the maturity tag. The Twitch doesn't make quite as much money on it, but now all of a sudden more people are watching things because it's like, oh, that's just funnier, right? They can be funnier. They can be a little bit edgier. They can be a little bit this, a little bit that. Well, they're going to get more views. They're going to get more ad revenue.
Well, they could also have different advertisers. Like, what if you do an 18 plus? What if you get ads from Fleshlight? Hey,
sponsorship.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh yeah.
And he has Tinga. He has. How do
you get yours warm? Do you put it in the sink or do you put it in the microwave?
Put it in your mouth.
Sometimes I just finger it a little bit.
I was gonna say, why do you need to make it warm?
Wait, is it do you use hand warmers?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just thought of stop! I just thought of the best fucking invention. Oh my god! I swear to God, I'm meant for this kind of shit, man. Listen to this.
What, edible anal beads? No, they already have.
No. Okay, Andy, relax.
And they taste good.
Listen.
I like your hair. I like the blonde with the.
Listen to this. Oh my god.
Yeah,
what if there was a pocket pussy that you could put inside a pussy and you could fuck the pocket pussy while it fucks the actual pussy? So you're fucking a pocket pussy while it fucks the pussy in the pussy. Think about that.
Oh my god.
What if?
But why? No, you already have a pussy. Why are you gonna put that pussy in a pussy?
Some people.
Isn't that a condom?
That's a giant condom.
Yeah,
exactly what that is.
That's pussyception.
Yeah, did you really think that's true, or?
I thought it was.
No, but hold on. I mean, is it for people that want to feel pussy but don't have big enough dicks to pleasure their partner, so they need another extension piece? But if they put the extension piece on their penis, then they're not going to feel the pussy, so they need to feel the pussy, right?
It could actually.
So you don't cheat on your girl.
It could actually solve a lot of things. It could solve.
Would you buy it, Raj? Would you buy it?
It would solve.
Would I buy it? No, so much. I don't need that. You're trying to trap me. I see that. I would not buy it. I'm good. You're probably better than me, but I'm good.
I might. No, it might.
I mean, I don't know.
Damn.
He almost had something going. He almost had.
Oh my.
Well, I have a lot.
I like how you have a.
So hey, something I kind of wanted to bring up is talking about Twitch and all this stuff. Something I really something that can be concerning to a streamer, to a broadcaster, is the fact that something that may or may not be totally in or out of your control, right? You know, maybe a bad donation, whatever. Somebody finds a way to get through your TTS filter, whatever, and drop the N-bomb a bunch of times, whatever. You can receive like a ban, a 24-hour, whatever, but you can essentially have things happen to you that hurt your income, that hurt your career, and you could potentially end up getting permabanned off the platform for certain things and basically losing your job. That's something, and it's like something that you're not doing directly.
Well, I think that also, like, there are a lot of people that dismiss this argument by saying that, oh, you can disable all of these things, right? Well, yeah, you can obviously do that, but a lot of streamers make a lot of their income, especially smaller streamers make a lot of their income through doing that. So it's in Twitch's best interest to create an environment that makes it welcoming and profitable and lucrative to create content on their website. And I think that these types of practices and these policies that they have not only make people less, less welcome on their platform, but they make them feel less secure too. I think people would be more willing to invest more into Twitch, and maybe more people would invest more into Twitch if they felt like their career, you can say that their career wasn't on the line and it wasn't in control of somebody that's inventive enough to create a way to bypass a TTS filter.
I agree with you, but I think that there's a little bit of a balance where at some point
there has to be some responsibility from the
broadcaster. Some broadcasters become negligent. And,
absolutely.
And I think there has to be a balance. But like, I think we're just talking about the people that are, doing their thing and they're not trying to promote that type of behavior, and it just slips in. Like,
it just gets through, right? I mean, because you're going to have clowns.
We want to protect.
Here's one. This guy created a Twitch account and it had the N-word in it. He view-botted the Twitch account up high enough to where it would show for my host alerts.
Oh, that was you.
He view-botted. Yeah, he view-botted it up. Just so he could, just so he could put that on my screen.
Yes.
Host me with the view-botted account that would show.
That's why my host.
And like that's
why my hosts are off. My hosts are off right now because that happened to me.
How is that our fault that Twitch allows somebody to create an account with the N-word?
And that happens to me all the time with followers. I have a little follower thing.
Because we still have our follow alerts. Yeah.
Well, it's like
in the little corner, and they make repetitive botted accounts. Why is it my fault that Twitch hasn't integrated something to prevent that from coming through their system, and that he can create a bunch of accounts? Why should I have
people
to
see? Here's the thing, right?
Did you reach out to Twitch and tell them this?
I tried. They did
like this by saying that, oh, well, you can just remove follower alerts, right? Because you can't do that, and that would remove the problem. But I think that at a certain point, like it has to come from both ways. The broadcaster shouldn't be expected to just keep removing more and more elements from their stream because of these arbitrary rules that Twitch has created that they can be punished by, because Twitch is negligent in terms of creating rules and systems to prevent people from doing these things in the first place.
Well, and it's like, why have every single broadcaster go out and say like, okay, well, you guys have to do this, you guys have to do this, when all you have to do is say, okay, I mean, I don't even know, I don't even know if I can spell it, but like, there's like a common. There's several ways of commonly spelling a certain word. Well, just go.
We got him in chat. Like, guess who's in chat?
Like, that's
guess who it is? The Lord of the Underworld.
Shout out.
The Lord of the Underworld is here. And he does this. I mean, imagine. Like, I remember whenever this guy, and I shouldn't be giving him attention, but I'm going to tell a quick story. And I was at my dad's house and he tweeted at me, and I burst out laughing at the sheer ridiculousness of the fact that somebody who has a dedicated, mission of creating accounts to spam the N-word in Twitch chat has created a Twitter that is dedicated to fulfilling that goal. Like, that's just, it's so ridiculous to me. I just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, you can never underestimate people that are there's something wrong, right? There's something wrong with them, and they will spend all day every day doing this because they're getting reactions, right? And if they weren't getting reactions, they wouldn't do it.
Maybe we should just all say it together right now. Just put an end to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
No thanks, I'm trying to move on.
3, 2, no.
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Like, what's your name? The one with the blonde hair and the black in the middle? What is?
Sorry, my weed guy is here.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Jay. JCG.
Jay, I'm Andre. Nice to meet you.
Damn,
Nice to
Andre
meet
got
you.
one. Andre got a sweet
Do
tooth.
you still
never
have
seen
your
it before.
like
No, the leopard. No.
Andre
no.
got that sweet tooth.
not as cool.
Andre got that sweet tooth. I could tell.
She's pretty. Yeah.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
Hey,
I know.
wow. Hey, Dankquan, hands off.
Hands up.
He's not trying to have hands. He's not. He wants no hands. He wants no hands.
Hey,
Hands behind my back.
That's right.
my
He
lady.
wants no hands. I know Dankquan like that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You just have to get me a finder's fee. That's all right. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude.
That's hilarious.
Welcome back, Andy.
Yeah, I don't know what's loading. Oh shit, he's got a gun.
He's addicted to Rust, dude.
You mean that game that came out in like 2011?
Wait, when did WoW come out?
It's still
Oh,
in
yeah.
early. Yeah, except
Oh, he's got you there, As.
the difference is WoW wasn't in early access for
okay.
8 years.
I remember playing WoW, the early access vanilla. That's
Those
crazy.
are the days, man.
That's rare.
So
So you're excited about BFA, Asmon? Oh, my
no,
bad.
go ahead, please.
Nah, dude, this shit's gonna suck. Like, I mean, like, obviously, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited that it's a new expansion,
Are you
but I'm
guys
not
excited
excited that
because
it's
you're WoW
BFA.
streamers?
Do what?
Are you excited, Esfand, because you're a WoW streamer? So it's
No,
like
I
beneficial for you?
legitimately, it's funny. We were talking about this, actually on Train's last comeback stream after he got real sick, and it was me, you, and Soto. We were sitting there. We were talking with Zach, and we were talking about the GCD changes and stuff like that. And like, since then I was like, I don't know, it might
Like,
be
what
good,
are they doing with
but I like
globals?
it.
What are they doing?
They're
Make it
making it
longer.
like so. They're putting extra abilities. Like right now, like you like cast an ability, and it doesn't go on the global cooldown, so you can do like one thing right after that.
Yeah.
But they're putting a lot of extra things on the global cooldown. So like for warriors, you charge,
I had that guy.
and that's a global cooldown. Then you cast an ability after that, and
I
it's basically
see.
just like slowing
Does the
down the
charge
game.
stun? Does the charge stun?
And like it's arguably a good change in PvP, right?
Yeah,
but
I
for
think it's- I
PvE,
think it's for PvP.
it's not that great. I don't know. I mean, like BFA in general, like
Is it bad for tanks? Is that why you're saying it?
oh nah, it's
He doesn't
basically
know how to
fantastic,
tank.
honestly.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm excited that there's a new expansion coming out. I'm just not necessarily excited about what's coming out in
changes.
BFA. Yeah.
Got you.
What kind of sick motherfucker would dress their dick up like a cowboy?
Well, he's having a good time, man.
It's funny.
And here's something else. I was actually talking to BJP about this, and it was like he made the realization that that's not the kind of picture that you take by yourself. He did that. He dressed that thing up and then had somebody else like who do you ask?
Wasted.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
It's like, hey,
That's
bro,
your
you mind just
buddy.
taking a picture
Yeah.
of this real quick?
What? You can
You
take a
think you
picture.
think a boy
No,
took
no,
a
no.
picture?
Yeah, you can
like
just
that?
flip the phone a little bit, like. Or...
Yeah, you just
She's a
push
pro.
it forward a little bit. You scrunch it up. You take the picture. Like, it's not that hard, dude.
Well, you guys are a lot more flexible than I am.
How do you guys feel about NoFap? How do you feel about NoFap?
Oh, I love NoFap, dude.
Yeah, I just started.
I'm no
I'm
fat.
on
No.
13.
Are you kidding me,
I'm
Dankquan?
17. Yeah. The thing is,
What is
Yeah.
what is the point of that?
well, for me, it's like
Hey.
I've masturbated every day since I was 12, so it's cool to
Really?
think. Yeah.
I mean-
so it's like I
Wait.
definitely thought it was a necessity in life. Like I used
How'd you do it on the RV?
I don't know. The first RV trip I actually didn't masturbate.
Oh,
But
okay.
the second RV trip, I'm pretty sure I did, but there were like reasons I didn't have to. Like I was definitely still ejaculating, just wasn't
Oh,
due to
okay.
myself. Yeah.
I mean-
that's the thing about NoFap. You can
That's one
still
way to put it.
ejaculate. You can still ejaculate during NoFap. You just can't you can't ejaculate yourself.
I mean, base.
So you
how
gotta
many
go.
base?
You gotta go.
this
Like, you
kid-
gotta go hunt
yeah,
for it.
this kid made it
Basically.
to
yeah, it just makes you get out there. You know.
I mean, basically, if you know,
Get your toes wet.
basically no fap. You know, basically what that is if you want, if you want to lose your house, you want to lose your kids, you want to lose your dog, you want to lose everything, fap, and you'll lose all that.
How does NoFap do that?
I don't
It's
know.
all
Drives
about
you
what you said
crazy.
before about setting up.
It does drive you crazy.
future and how what your actions
sure.
are later will affect you.
Yeah, I'm
negatively.
saying you will not be.
NoFap.
Callback.
No FAP is worth it in the end, dude. In the end,
Is it?
No, it's
So you're telling me every time you feel like you got a bust, you got to go hunt for your nut?
No, I just I don't know.
You got to go nut hunting?
Wait, do you use your imagination and like just?
No, you
no,
like wait.
nothing,
What if you can? What if
nothing.
you can just do it by just without your hands and just?
I can't.
Like in your sleep.
But I
do that.
don't do it. Yeah,
Wait, you
I've
can't-
done that too.
You
Like
climax
in
in your
between like
sleep.
your sofa cushions or something.
Oh.
No. I'm just mean like thinking of something while sleeping, then waking up with cum on your tummy. Like I've definitely had something like that. Yeah. I think it's called a wet dream. I think
Tummy,
that's-
tummy.
Yes.
Wait, is that
Yeah,
what
wet
you're
dreams.
Instead of like
Wait.
jerking off?
Wait, say that again.
Is that what you're doing instead of jerking
Oh
off?
no.
Oh,
That's just something that's
jerking.
happened before.
Jerking.
I don't. Yeah.
Well,
I don't try to do any like weird like nude methods of masturbating. I just now instead of masturbating,
you just work on yourself, right?
I
like,
guess
that's-
kind of. I just don't.
That's the whole point of NoFap is that you instead of trying to bust a nut all the time or chase one or whatever, you just don't do that, and then you work on things that you need to work on yourself.
Why can't you?
No, it's reversed. It's reversed.
You
It's
can't do
reversed,
both.
brother.
Why can't you work on yourself? Just nut real quick and then you work on yourself.
So my reasoning wasn't that deep as to like why I wanted to do it. It was just as simple as it's something that I always did. So I just wanted to see what it was like not doing it. Since I didn't, I just It's been
Have you ever guys procrastinated?
Oh, like where
What
you
is
like?
that?
Yeah, I do that like every day.
Procrastinating, but
doing
you
that right now.
I did that when I was.
Where you really got to do something, but you're procrastinating, so you procrastinate. You ever
Oh,
done
like
that?
masturbating. Okay.
Like-
Yeah, like
Dating
I would do it a
homework.
lot when I was doing homework in college and shit.
Yeah.
Just masturbate.
Yeah.
Listen. It's the I don't know what you're talking about here, McConnell, dude. It's the exact opposite. If you want to work on yourself, you want to clear your mind of all sexual desire. And here's the thing,
Yes.
I preached this for a very long time, and people SJWs were attacking me. Everyone was attacking me, saying it's disgusting and all this stuff. JOBD, jerk off before donating. Jerk off, honestly, JOB anything. Jerk off before you do anything in life. Before you take a fucking math test, because literally, if you take a math test and you're sitting trying an A, and your teacher, and you start looking like, damn, she's bad.
Nah, bro.
You're
like,
fucked. You're fucked.
I don't jerk off before my streams, because if I do that, I come in, dude, I'm ready.
Tired, huh?
I'm trying harder.
No, that's different.
You
That's
wanna be
different.
hard.
That's different.
Exactly.
That's different.
Yeah, dude.
He's exactly right.
Well, no,
dude.
you save all your energy. Like it's all like you just.
Well, I'm there, man.
There's
I'm
no
like
woman.
there.
Why, guys, don't
And I'm not
say
like
that?
relaxed. I'm not like, oh man, I just
Yeah, but
finished. Like,
there's
no, man. It's like it's time to play WoW.
Yeah, but
I'm excited.
there's
So when you're
no
done
woman.
Asmon,
There's no
okay.
woman there in front of your face. Like you're streaming it right there, so you're good. But like, imagine if imagine if your stream consists of you questing a girl.
Someone's coming.
Trust me, like you're fucked. If you don't JOBQ, jerk off before questing, you are fucked. Like you will sit there and trust me. Like you've got a JOBQ. Now if you're just playing WoW, then I agree. You don't jerk off. You're gonna lose.
To
your energy.
me,
I feel like I just feel like I try harder if I don't jerk off. Just
To
in
me,
general.
jerking off is a reward at the end of the day. Like you have achieved everything you need to do.
There is actually a Japanese word. There's a Japanese slang word.
At the end, yeah, the clarity of
There
mind.
was a
after
Japanese
you get
slang word
done.
right here.
Yep.
It's Kenja Taimu. Japanese word meaning period of clear thoughts when a man is free from sexual desires after having an orgasm.
Yes.
I learned of this after I got so much shit for declaring JOBD an official man's holiday.
It's a real thing.
Like, literally, I got so much shit, and someone linked me this. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm onto something, and it's real. Now, yes, before I go to the gym, I don't want to jerk off. I want to go to the gym, get my shit good, and then I come home, and right before I shower, I fucking have one of those hard gym cocks, and I go in, right? Like, but... So yeah, there's things like you're saying, Asmon, before stream you don't jerk off, and the gym you don't jerk off.
That's right.
But like I'm talking when you're having interaction with a female or there's a female in the room, assuming you're a straight male, you need to JOB whatever the fuck.
I don't think so, man, because I feel like if I do, I just don't care about them. I'm like, yeah, I don't care what you say, you don't matter, But if it's like before, then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna really care what they have to say,
But it's not. But then it's not real.
That's fucked up, but there it
We're talking
is.
about specific streams, okay, and you're saying, oh, you need a JOBD, then maybe you have a point. But if you assign NoFap to yourself and you stick with it over time, you're not even gonna have to worry about.
It
Oh,
does
well, I got a
fade away.
JOBD real quick.
No,
Yes,
you think it fades away. You think it fades.
No, I know it fades away because I've gotten up to.
I will prove to you. I will prove to you why it doesn't fade away right now. I will prove to you why right now. Right now, I'll prove to you. You want me to prove to you easily? You want me to prove to you why NoFap, that myth you're saying is bullshit? Here's why. That fading away, before I tell you why, that fading away is actually denial. You're slipping into a denial and you're settling. Here's why NoFap doesn't work, okay? Or it works, but it doesn't work in the sense of clarity. If you're telling me eventually it becomes easier and it fades away, then tell me this. Let me go one above. A quote-unquote virgin that's never had it. Never. So that's even easier. Never experienced it. They are the most naive because they are in denial. If a virgin who is abstained from all sexual activity is just as still naive, then you can't tell me someone who has tasted it and now is no-fapping, it eventually fades. No, you eventually slip into a denial, and that's a fact.
Well, that's what MGTOW's for, dude.
Listen, I used to judge every WoW expansion, how good it was, by how long it took me to jerk off since the expansion was released. Right?
Hey, this joke. Yeah.
What do you jack off to, Asmongold? Are you more like an ass man, a tits man?
He's an ass man. Gold.
No, he's a tits.
I think what I can get, dude.
I used to jerk off to Cortana from him.
Ass man gold.
Cortana was sexy.
Ass
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Ass man.
Yay, Dankquan.
Yeah. Look at Cortana and then drive the Warthog into the wall so it starts vibrating on your dick.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, huh?
Exactly.
They're full of shit. He doesn't want to eat
Cortana
ass.
I did that in the first Halo.
Crush.
There it is, dude.
Cortana is sexy.
Esfand's like, I don't want to hear this.
Cortana is hot.
Cortana was
NoFap so bad though. You can still
That's
get a
what I'm
blowjob. You
saying,
can still have sex. You just can't use your own hand. I don't get.
Yeah, like what's your
you can
problem?
still ejaculate. It's not like you're saying.
So what's
what's
the point of it if you NoFap? So if you have a girlfriend and you NoFap and you get your dick sucked every morning and every night, then what's the?
You can't. I don't know. I just, like I said, for myself, I'm just doing it because I did it every single day since I was 12. Yeah. And when I looked into it, it said you can still ejaculate.
When I was 14, I had a really good friend that was Catholic, and he told me I was a sinner if I masturbated. So that's the only time I did NoFap because I thought I was going to hell. And then I just said, fuck it.
At the end of the day, anything that includes having willpower and testing yourself, I think is you could draw something.
Yeah, I usually
exactly. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
I actually used to be Catholic too. So
did you?
Yeah. My mom would make me go to church.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Peace be with you.
Well, I mean, I couldn't do anything there. It's like because I had friends that went there and I couldn't hang out with them. I couldn't play Pokemon. I couldn't do anything.
I gotta just say one more thing about the NoFap thing and willpower. It's also like the biggest and best example probably of like placebo effect is things that you do for yourself because you think it's good end up being good in a big way because of the placebo effect, because you're patting yourself on the back and you're rewarding yourself, like saying like, look, I'm doing something good for myself. Like whether it's taking a multivitamin or doing some willpower thing with NoFap, like there's so many times a day where you're always trying to better yourself and improve yourself. And a lot of the times we can get that from just the placebo effect of like thinking we're doing the right thing.
Maybe, but this has to do with the chemical thing too. Like,
I'm not saying NoFap. I'm just saying in general, like anything that involves like willpower.
Can you fuck a pocket pussy during NoFap?
No.
No. You cannot do it by yourself at all.
Okay.
Like some people think
Esfand, you good, man?
Appreciate it.
What are you doing?
I didn't know you guys could hear that.
Jesus Christ, Esfand.
No. I was fixing my.
Oh.
I was fixing. Yeah.
He's saying fuck NoFap right now, dude.
No. Sorry, I was fixing something. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Can I say what I had in mind?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candy.
Yeah.
Do you want to get naked for the party, Candy?
No. I just want to say that some people think that you will appreciate like the woman better when you get the real thing if you're not masturbating to like porn. And that's what I've heard, and that's what Like, why?
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Sometimes it just drops
no,
your.
it's not true.
It's
That's
like,
what,
no,
that's
dude,
what women
like
tell you to
you take
brainwash
a
you to
week off
control
of
you.
jerking off, and then you get turned on by a pool noodle.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the pool noodle; it's the jets.
If you jerk off, you can actually appreciate you can appreciate the beauties of personality and deeper depths of emotion. If you don't jerk off, you're gonna sit there and she's gonna drop her fucking pencil in the room and your dick's fucking hard. So it's like, I'm telling you, it's all brainwashing and mind control. I'm telling you, you have got, just trust me.
I still get awkward boners.
Yeah, I know. I've seen.
What's an awkward
just kidding.
one?
I'm just
Watching
kidding.
Bob Ross and getting hard?
No, I just get boners in weird spots. I don't know.
It's just a happy accident.
Yeah, like weird parts of your body, or on.
Or when you share a bed with
get rid
her.
of it?
I put it between my legs and I choke it out like a,
Yeah.
choke it out. I cut off the blood supply. You gotta put it between your legs. You gotta sit on it.
Does that actually work?
No.
Yeah, you gotta cut off the circulation.
It absolutely works.
You gotta go.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, it's called the sleeper technique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what you do, Asmon. You choke it.
No,
choke it
man.
out.
Like,
Yeah, I hope I get choked out like that. Hello.
Damn.
What the
What the hell?
Sorry.
usually I just read my Twitter mentions.
Sorry.
Like, honestly, that's all I do.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I just read my Twitter mentions. It
What
just
was that?
distracts me.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say people feed your ego on Twitter enough to the point where
Not really. People usually just talk shit. Or
No,
they're
they-
like, hey, man,
no,
do you want
no,
to... Hey, I'm going live on Twitch. Will you retweet me?
No, I've seen your mentions, dude. They're like, can't wait for you to go live again, Asmongold, Asmon Daddy. Wow, dude, yeah.
Well,
see
yeah,
the shit,
obviously
man.
some people are nice, but there's just a lot of annoying fucks in there too. And then I start thinking about him, and I'm like, wow, this guy's a goddamn idiot. Like, I'm just trying to feel like people are just like, oh, like
Fuck is he shooting
Pinkward posted a picture of me today sitting on a sofa, and everybody's making fun of my leg. Like, yeah, I just look at that. Boner is gone. That's it. I'm done. Like, I'm just thinking, like, yeah, I'm getting objectified. It's terrible. And I can understand what women are coming from, you know? It's absolutely terrible.
I see the picture now. Look at it.
Fuck you.
Look at-
Take a look at
You
it.
probably couldn't even fit on that couch.
Owie.
Wait,
Yes, I
Makano,
could.
Can we see you, Makano? I want to see you.
Yeah, when I move to Austin and I live with Esfand and stay safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monk ass.
Got you.
How's that monk ass? I'm
Said it.
Who knows what could happen in that house?
Wait, where do you live right now, Makano? Mind me asking.
Nobody knows.
He's a
US.
private
Where do you
individual.
live, JC?
I live in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay, but
Wow.
Los Angeles, so that's not too far.
Not too far at all.
I personally, Asmon, I think your legs are completely fine, and to me they look normal. To me they look like normal average legs, and that's me.
Oh, of course they look normal to you.
yeah, because you got the same.
They look just like yours.
Oh my God, Esfand.
Listen, if me and Asmon had to carry you and McConnell's upper bodies every day, our legs would be thick too.
Dude, it is what it is.
Asmon, true.
It's all part of the plan.
You gotta hit that snipe, Andy.
I've been hitting.
Andy can't
I
hit
killed like
shit, bro. It's
56
because
people.
he's no fapped as well. If he fapped, he'd be hitting those
What you
gaming
talking
shots all
about?
day.
No, that's true. Honestly, like whenever we
Ah.
play PUBG and I have a couple of bad games, I'm like, guys, I'll be right back in 5 minutes. Like, I'm not going
That's what you're
downstairs to get food.
Oh, that's what you're.
Yeah.
That's
just-
so nasty, dude. I
Yeah,
never
you
want.
should.
Dude, I never want to play PUBG.
Bro,
with you,
Asmon
ever.
gives you
You ever-
I'm not
bro,
joking.
Asmon gives you a courtesy. I'm gonna let you know something that I'm sure you already have figured out. Like
Don't.
there's
I don't.
games where you
Don't.
see me. You're like, Trainer, are you there? And I drop at the very end automatically. I'm actually on the other monitor. I'm going at it right there, hearing your voices. Like that's how sick I am. I like that shit. Like I'm listening to you guys talk where to drop. I'm just jerking it right there, and then I
Well,
finish and I
I-
come back.
I have a rule with that, right? If I'm listening to a male streamer, I turn it off or I exit out or minimize it. But if I'm listening to a female streamer, I just keep it on.
Well, think about this right now. How many
Jerking
people
off
in the
with
chat right now? Just think about this for a second. How many people in the chat right now probably are freaking Who's got it? I guarantee you, there's somebody in the chat right now. There's multiple people.
They're gonna keep doing it even if you ban them.
Stand up and do a twirl, Esfand.
Now that you mention it, they're like, now that you mention it, I should probably
Just whip it out.
And they're probably jacking off to some shit that you wouldn't think of, like not JCG, not Candyland, but they're just fucking jacking off to
man.
Asmon.
Like, damn, that's a nice sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
Probably me.
Esfand. Yeah. Or the game.
You
or
guys
Dankquan with the Christmas tree.
I'll give him something like this.
I'm talking about.
That's not. I like
I can do that too. Don't be too
Oh my
proud.
god.
I can
show
do
it
that
off.
too.
Let's see.
Mine's TOS. His is not.
Okay.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
he's
you
coming to
guys
me.
gotta use your feet to
Sexism, by
jack
the
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys ever give yourself a foot job?
I can't use it.
Yes.
No.
You're on myself.
Not yet.
Yeah, yourself.
Oh.
Oh, what the fuck?
Nah. Yeah.
Is that his loophole for no fap? He jerks himself
Oh
to the
no.
feet.
No, that's still like myself. It's still by myself.
Wait, can you do that?
I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
could.
Yo, I know what you guys are doing later. Figure it.
We should do a mutual masturbation channel.
I mean, everybody knows that Marilyn Manson removed one of his ribs just so he can suck at his own dick.
If I
right?
could suck
You don't
my
have to
own,
do that though.
if I could suck my own dick, I wouldn't do it.
What?
Would you try it though? You wouldn't do it consistently, or
I never would
try it. Oh, you didn't
No.
try it? Wow.
Well, it's like putting your finger in your butt. Like I never do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out.
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
What do you use to clean your butt? Like do you use a
water.
washcloth? Yeah, water. How do you?
A pipe cleaner. Like you just take a pipe cleaner and just kind of.
Yeah.
Do you use the washcloth you use to wash your face? Or do
You
just,
bleach
like,
it.
Oh, you bleach
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
Cunt.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. What do you do?
I have two different washcloths. So like, I have a loofah for my body, and then I have a washcloth that I
Oh,
like,
loofah?
private.
Okay.
Yeah. A loofah is like this little thing you scrub with. You scrub
Yeah.
skin and shit.
You exfoliate.
Yeah, out of some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my mom told me to use a long time ago.
Is there a reason why a lot of certain people have like they apply cocoa butter like twice, 3 times a day?
Oh,
I think it helps get rid of stretch marks and stuff.
Are you
I'm not
sure? Because
no, it's for
It's used for a lot of
With coconut oil.
no
cocoa butter.
I like coconut. Coconut oil is good.
Yeah, coconut.
I like cooked coconut. It's really good.
Wait,
On
do you
pizza.
mean like cocoa? Not what you're talking
I like
No,
cock.
we're not talking about cock.
cock butter, not sperm.
That's a different
Not
type
sperm.
of butter, Candyland. Cocoa
Different kind
butter.
of butter. That's a different kind of butter.
Let's just get naked.
Let's just get naked, yeah.
Yeah, have you guys ever been to like a nude beach? Speaking of being naked.
No, but
What the fuck?
Dankquan, you posted a nude photo recently on
Oh,
Twitter,
yeah,
didn't you?
on my ass. Well, I didn't post it. Another man decided to post it. But yeah,
Another
we took
man?
it.
Probably Chad. Definitely probably
Dankquan,
Chad. That's Chad.
Dankquan, that was a nice ass. You got a nice ass.
Yeah, I think I had the best in that picture. Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, yeah, you guys was like, damn, that's a nice ass. I could say subjectively.
if you couldn't see my face, you'd be like, you might hit that.
I mean, that's how I feel about
no,
most.
I probably hit it with your face, to be honest.
I like that.
Oh
That's
no.
a little
Fucking
kinky.
Bolty versus AK is brutal,
I
dude.
like that.
Shit.
God
Anyway.
damn it, the
Sorry,
fucking
enough about
AK
your
is so
ass.
overpowered.
It's okay. I appreciate it.
Fuck this
Yeah,
game.
but it's a nice ass. You got a nice ass.
I like how tall Asmongold is. To throw Asmon a compliment. I saw him in person.
I'm a long boy.
How
Yes,
tall are
you
you?
are.
He's like 6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'8", dude, just like Doc, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
6'8".
of course.
Stick.
Not quite.
Oh,
He's like 6'3",
that's still tall. That's still very tall to me.
6'2", 6'3", I think. I don't know. I don't know.
That's super
How tall
tall.
are you? How tall are you?
Yeah.
6'1", 6'2", 6'3"?
6'1".
He's about 6'2".
McConnell, how tall are you?
Shut the fuck up, Asmon. Don't fucking talk about me, jerk.
I love watching the Twitch chat because if you talk about something one little gay thing in a stream, you'll always have one guy in the chat go, "I'm out. Fuck this. Fuck this gay shit." Some guy,
Yeah,
like,
because
I don't
he
know,
just
Oklahoma
finished.
or some shit.
People are insecure about that, or some people are so insecure. When
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
they
ooh.
joke about it.
They can't handle. Yeah,
They can't handle it. They can't handle it. So
What about it's a little too soon, but I want to talk about all this stuff about
The server's so filled.
Demi.
Demi Lovato, yeah, all that shit going on with her, you know.
So she did drugs, and you know what? You don't do drugs. Like, it's like, you know, whenever your parents tell you not to do heroin.
Yes.
My
you
mom
need to
never
listen-
told me not to do heroin.
Evidently,
my mom did.
allegedly, it wasn't heroin. Allegedly.
What was it?
She's a source close to TMZ, which I'm sure is pretty close and accurate, said it wasn't heroin, but it was something else.
Yeah,
Here's the way I look
What
at it.
was it? A cheeseburger? What are you talking
Well,
about?
I don't know. They said it wasn't.
She was
heroin, and
diagnosed
they
with
said
lymphoma.
that the 911 call, the person who called 911 requested there be no sirens.
Okay.
Sirens. Does that mean it's not heroin?
No, that.
It means it's not important.
No,
No,
it
it
doesn't.
means they wanna
no,
do it
that means they want it discreet.
Oh, yeah,
They want to, low key.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, how you?
But if you want to pass shit and you want to get that person to the the emergency
here's
room
how I
immediately,
see
you
it.
use your siren.
Here's how I see it, right? Is that I think people that do drugs, I think it's a bad decision. And I don't think that, like, weed, I think is fine. Like, drinking, I honestly, I think drinking alcohol is worse than weed.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not a fan
What?
of any drugs at all. Like, I'm a good boy.
Are you
No
serious?
drugs, no
Wait, who said that? Who
no
said that?
alcohol,
McConnell.
nothing.
McConnell, what the
Well,
fuck
the
you
thing-
trying to say? Alcohol is better than weed?
No, dude, like,
I drink
honestly,
all the
like,
time.
no,
Yeah,
dude,
well, of
like,
course.
McConnell has
you
been
also
driven to
from
drink
America?
because I've been getting more
That's
viewers.
not true. I drank
Yeah,
because
he's
No, that's-
drinking more.
That's not true.
Like the
drank
day I
because
broke
wanted-
10K, dude, he went to the liquor store.
No, I didn't. That's
No,
not true.
The thing is, the difference between like drinking alcohol and this is kind of like a
Yeah.
you can put a hole in this argument, but drinking alcohol versus like smoking weed, like there's still like the aspect of like secondhand smoke and stuff. So like it does affect the people around you. Like,
Oh, that's bullshit.
Well, I think
Whatever
that's
you know,
partially.
bitch,
Well, I
Esfand.
think that's partially
No.
true, right? But the
You know,
secondhand
like-
smoke, the negative aspects of the secondhand smoke are much less. They're much less with weed than they are with cigarettes because of the other preservatives and everything that they put in the cigarettes. But I do think that you have a good point, and obviously
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't be smoking around other people without like them being okay with it.
right.
My opinion is that like with the Demi Lovato thing, it's like I'm going to say something that's probably like people are probably not going to like this, but I don't think it's bad to make fun of and tease people for being addicted to drugs, because I think that people feel like I think there's a certain type of romanticization of being addicted to drugs, and people like get into it in a way. And I think that if you make people feel stupid for doing it, it will in the end cause less people to do drugs.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
Depends
but
on the person
I mean,
and what they're going through.
I've had my experience.
Well, fuck them. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is they're stupid for doing drugs. It's like if you make fun of one person but you save 10 more, what's the better thing to do?
your point of view is coming from someone that you want
What?
all drugs legalized, right?
Well, yeah, I think every drug should be legalized, and that way people that are addicted to them can be treated like victims and not criminals. Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah. Or natural
Mm.
selection.
Or, yeah, dude.
Survival of the fittest?
I like how you're in a stadium.
It's definitely, there is a place where I'll agree with you. Now, I've done my fair share of drugs. I'm not gonna lie. I've done my fair share of drugs. I've done very hard ones, very heavy ones, and
What'd you do today?
I nothing actually today. But
Alphazan.
no, I'm clean. Okay, this is gonna be Demi Lovato stuff, but I'm clean. Okay, like, I'm good. Like, but no, back when I did it, like. That part where Asmon said, there's this romanticization that helps people justify doing it. The one big one that I saw was people justified it because they romanticized it in a sense where they convince themselves that they crave a certain chaos in their life. They crave a certain chaos, and normal life doesn't give it to them, right? Like, and that right there is one of the main things I saw and I witnessed, even in myself, that justified some of the hardest, heaviest drugs, where you're constantly chasing the dragon, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Now, it falls back into the same thing that we talked about earlier in the topics of like, the mental illness card, other cards in life. There's just something everything's justified in a sense, like, or not that card. It was the card where Andy was talking about, what was it that I told him that all we do is we try to find ways to, he was talking about living in the moment. And I was saying all that is telling yourself that you know it's bad, but you're still doing it to live is a justification in itself. And that's the exact justification a lot of drug addicts use. That they know what they're doing is bad, but they crave the chaos. It's better than this, and I'd rather live than, be a boring person. That's one of the biggest denial justifications that the deep and serious drug addicts have. And it's a very dangerous game to play when you start talking about in the moment decision making and, you only live once. Does that make sense?
Well, I get what you're saying. Yeah, of course. I just don't really think that, I think that the act of doing drugs should not, I just think it's pathetic. Right. I honestly, I think it's pathetic. There is a decision that each person makes at some point to decide to do heroin, to decide to do crack. It's a stupid decision. It shouldn't be supported. It should be laughed at and mocked. And I think that more people will stop doing it, or less people will get into doing it if they know that they'll be mocked for doing it. Because people, I think that they do it in order to emulate people that they look up to. And if they know that they're going to, there's a perspective of ego to it. And so if you attack the ego, you attack one of the incentives to do it.
Sometimes that shit could be hard though when it comes to heroin. Like, cause
why you do it in the first place?
Well, some people you segue into it from a different. Yeah, you do make.
But why you segueing in the first place?
Why?
Like, that's the thing.
You know how you said the doctors might misdose you. So what if my doctor gives me, let's say, 30 milligrams of Percocet, right? I'm going to become addicted. Now, when I go to Google and I say my stomach hurts, last drug I took was, it's going to tell me, a little bit of heroin to make that stomach. Now I'll look up the price of a Percocet and I'm like, damn, that's $30.
Right.
Or I could go, you feel me, get a little foil thing with some heroin. That's $5. Right. Now, at first you might keep paying that 34 Percocet, but you're going to go broke. Like, that's a lot of money every day. I don't know.
Basically,
well, don't you feel like that's kind of like a secondary thing, right?
To add on to that,
if drugs are expensive,
yes.
I think that's a second issue. And with this circumstance, Demi Lovato could pay for Percocet. It's not a big deal. There's a reason why she's doing that. I look at it as, obviously it's not the most emotional or, the most empathetic thing to have my perspective, but I think it's what would help the most people. Right. And that's really that's how I see it.
So you said something, this is kind of like, this is a little bit of a shift, but you talked about basically making fun of people, and if you make fun of them, they'll stop, right? Yeah. I remember having this conversation a while back, and that's a point that I brought up.
They might kill themselves. I guess that's.
Look, I mean, there's a.
Well, if one person dies and 10 people live, what's better?
I mean, that's if the odd is in fact that, then yeah.
I think it's possible. Yeah.
Well, basically, like what I'm trying to say here is like. There's a line, right? Like you can't, like, obviously, like, you can't, and at this point you're not even being constructive anyway if you're like making fun of somebody to the point of like where they're harming themselves because of it. But if somebody is doing something that's bad and you make fun of that thing that's bad enough, whether it's doing drugs or whatever, then
or playing World of Warcraft.
Well, let's say,
I think it's different, right?
No. Let's take that
based on different people's personal judgment.
Let's say I play World of Warcraft. Let's say I play World of Warcraft for 18 hours a day. I don't do anything else in my life. I play World of Warcraft 18 hours a day.
Yeah,
let's say you play World of Warcraft 18 hours a day.
No, I'm saying like hypothetically.
Okay, good.
Right, I'm saying hypothetically. I'll play World of Warcraft 18 hours a day, and like that should be something that's like, dude, like that's like, what are you doing? Like you're not doing anything else.
That is bad.
Like that's something that, if you make fun of that, people are like, okay, like you might be like, okay, well maybe that is something that's stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should play 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? And then go do something else.
Let's try to next podcast.
Get up and walk around.
I get the opposite, me personally. Whenever people made fun of me playing video games, especially when I got into computer games, I don't know. I felt like I became stronger about what they were alienating me from. Because I felt like the reason they disliked it is because it's something they couldn't see themselves doing. They themselves can't type the same, like the speed I type. These people just weren't to me as smart.
So
I think some people do drugs because they feel like, you think you would die if you did coke, but I know I've done coke.
Yeah, so
not saying
well, that's
right.
real quick. And so
real quick.
And that's go.
Real quick, I want to add this. I wanted to add it in before Esfand spoke. I wanted to add it in after you made your comment about why people do it. So from experience, I'll give you a firsthand of why I think it's done. Okay, so I'm going to explain this, and I think to some people it will make sense. To people who maybe haven't experienced or haven't done it, which good on them, it might not make sense. The addiction, drug addiction, to someone who has done drugs, drug addiction isn't as simple as just you smoke the drug and you're addicted to it. The addiction, the severe addiction, isn't the addiction in smoking the actual drug and not being able to get off. The addiction is the long-term acceptance where that drug is not a big deal to you anymore. Do you understand? So once you do heroin and you do it and you realize, shit, this is no different than 2 Vicodin or
they broke the barrier.
Right. The barrier is broken, and you have to understand a lot of these drugs. What makes them scary is actually the stigma behind them. All the hype behind them, hype negatively, that says this is a terrible drug. Don't do it once. You'll die. Overdoses. The stigma is what scares people. But when you actually do it and you realize, shit, this is the same feeling as a Percocet 30, you start realizing, shit, so now you've broke a barrier where when you're depressed, your go-to pain is now heroin instead of the Percocet or instead of the Vicodin or instead of the, whatever else your downer might be or your upper might be. So
like the threshold is increased.
So you have to understand, your idea of heroin is an idea of someone that is afraid and scared of the logical stigma that's put behind it from society. But if you did it, I'm not saying to do it. You shouldn't do it. Heroin's terrible. It's disgusting. It will ruin lives. It will. But the stigma behind the actual drug is much scarier than it actually is. Do you understand? A Percocet is synthetic heroin. It's literally synthetic clean heroin. That's all it is. It's the same exact thing. Same. So there's a stigma behind meth, heroin. Listen, meth is very similar to Adderall. Very similar. If you take enough Adderall dosage, the feeling is very similar. It's just...
Yeah, it's the street drug that gets the stigma.
There is stigma behind the street drug, and that's what
a guy named Uncle Carr who sells it out of his fucking Winnebago is like, yeah, man, this is pure, dude. Oh, really? It's pure. Uncle Carl told me. Okay, let's go fucking this up in the back alley.
Exactly. So the thing is, people can so the same reason people do meth is the same justification it takes someone that takes an Adderall. The difference is the Adderall has a little bit of moral. There's a little bit more moral righteousness, and the doctors prescribe it, so you feel safer about it. But realistically, if you actually understood and erased that bias stigma from your mind, you realize there's really no difference. Maybe there's that rare occurrence where they lace the meth and you're fucked. Does that make sense? So that's what's causing people to...
No, it usually is way dirtier too. Because
I think there's a very big difference.
When you get a Percocet, you're getting 10 or 20 milligrams of oxycodone. When you're getting heroin, you're getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or you could get like people got fucking what's it called? What's the fucking
fentanyl? Yeah.
You get all
Very
kinds of shit stepped on, laced, mixed. People are like, this is pure Molly, but you're really just like, you don't know what the fuck you're taking.
Yes.
So yeah.
The point I'm making is the stigma behind it is what makes you, from someone that hasn't done it, which good on you, don't ever do it. The stigma behind it is what makes you logically say, why the fuck would anyone do drugs? They're fucking idiot, stupid fucks. But when you actually take away that stigma and you realize, shit, this is no different than, in terms of the high, it's no different than, getting a Percocet assigned you when you break your leg or whatever the fuck the case might be. And you take the Percocet after your leg's healed still. Like, once you break the barrier of tasting that and realizing it's what the hell, this isn't, how is this? Does that make sense? Once that barrier is broken, the addiction isn't the actual drug. Hold on, wait. The addiction isn't the actual episode of the drug use. The addiction is now your go-to is that drug. And now anytime you're depressed, anything below that drug is not going to be enough. Does that make sense? That's the true addiction. If that makes any sense.
No, I see what you're saying. I just think it's a pretty big difference between doing a drug that a doctor prescribes you and buying something off of the street, right? And also, like, the way that I look at it, like, whenever I was growing up, a lot of the people that I knew that did drugs and got into doing them, They did them because they were emulating people that they looked up to. Right. And so if you create a negative image of the people that do that thing, there will be less people that do the thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. The glorification of drugs.
Yes, I agree with that too. I agree with that too. Yes.
This isn't some kind of crazy, weird idea. I think that it's very obvious that there is a certain type of glorification of drugs, like what you were saying.
The
people, they emulate like celebrities that do drugs, etc. And I think that people want to have like that sense of connection, and they want to emulate people that they look up to. So if you make what the people that you're looking up to are doing is bad or is like pathetic or something, then less people are going to do it.
You're exactly,
because it's an ego-driven
You're
behavior.
exactly right by that. And here's a very good example that actually it boils my blood. But I'll give you a very good example. And this is actually a fact. This is something that he has said. Future raps about Molly, Percocet. He raps about all kinds of drugs. Yet, if you go to one of his interviews, he clearly states he doesn't do any of those drugs. None. He's against it fully.
A lot of them don't,
He's stated he's against it fully. He only does it because it's what sells. And he doesn't realize that boils my blood, because he doesn't realize people.
Dude, 100%.
It falls into the glorification you're talking about, Asmon. And when people are sad or down, they think, yo, I'm gonna take a Percocet.
Because I've had these conversations on my stream before, and a lot of the people that go against what I'm saying, it's very clear that they feel like they are cool, or they're in the know, or they've been on the streets, or they somehow are, they've gained some sort of thing by doing drugs. And I don't know, they have like a life experience that makes them more, they have this, they're, more well-rounded because they've done drugs or something. And I think that there's a very, very clear mental gain that people get from doing that. And I think that's created by society. And so if society changes the way that they approach doing drugs, then less people will do them.
I do want to say, it's not every circumstance. I do believe there is.
Well, of course. I mean, I think the thing is, like, you can never apply a rule to everything.
I do think,
but I'm saying, in a general sense, I think that if it was approached and it was made fun of more, I think less people would do it, because then they wouldn't want to get made fun of. And a lot of people that are doing it because they're driven by some form of an ego. So if you attack the ego, you attack the you attack the incentive to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people would be very, very surprised to see how few people actually do the things that they sing about and they talk about and they do in movies and stuff.
It's actually kind of, in a weird way, I think it's like kind of courageous for the rappers who do not only come out and say they don't do the shit, but actually like rap about that they don't do the drugs, because it kind of could come off as kind of like nerdy and too clean, and like Mr. Rogers, like, Little Yachty, like he always puts lyrics about like how he doesn't smoke weed, he doesn't sip lean. And as far as Future, like, I get it sells records, but how many kids have tried Molly for the first time because of your song?
Exactly, right.
It's a lot.
Well, then you get into the whole conversation of, how much do you want to police what people do, right? And I think that the problem isn't necessarily with the rappers. The problem is with the greater society creating a demand for rap that glorifies doing drugs, and that's what I want to attack. Like, not this individual person. Like, they're just playing to an audience.
Maybe don't attack him, but also if you do say, look, there is some of the blame. Like, if you do say, look, if you never made a rap song about some fucking scary drug that you never did, maybe like fucking thousands of people would have never tried Molly. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe. I mean, that's the thing.
There is some cause and effect with that.
The thing is, though, like, you can extrapolate that to a lot of things, right? Should you be able to have a gun on, like your show, because, maybe somebody will see you with a gun, then they'll have a gun, and then some people that are using a gun will accidentally get hurt with the gun, right? I think it's very dangerous to apply different types of stereotypes and expectations to people and then make them responsible for what people take away from their songs. But what you're saying also is true, because what I'm saying is that's like a secondary thing, but what you're saying is these songs are oriented around doing drugs, which is different.
And partying is a lot easier to fathom than like everybody seeing a show and being like, "Oh, I want a gun." to just be like, oh man, partying, that sounds cool. I'm listening to this music. I like this artist. Oh, he parties by doing Molly and Percocet.
Exactly.
Dude, let's get some Mollies today and we'll go to the club. You know what I mean?
I really think that has a factor to it. I think it really...
Should we do that with every form of entertainment? Should everything that could possibly influence the younger
generation? That's the problem. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, because now you're getting into like censorship.
Well,
I'm not saying... See, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to rap about fucking drugs. I'm just saying, like, as an adult, if you're putting stuff out there to
there should be a level of responsibility.
Yeah, you should. You know, you don't have to, but you know, it's nice to be so matter of fact about like, oh yeah, I just put this shit in my music because it sells. Do you realize like how many people you could hurt by that, and the strength of your words?
Okay, give me your
and
password.
I'm not saying you should be censored and you shouldn't be allowed to, but as an adult, you should at least take the responsibility, being like, damn, this is some shit that I should be a little bit more responsible about because it could actually like hurt a lot of people.
I think that's definitely true, and people should be made aware of that, but I don't think they should necessarily be prevented from creating the content. And I think that's the line that I draw, because as soon as you start doing that, then you start saying like, what about things here on Twitch, right? Are people able to talk about sex on Twitch? Because some parents might not want to have their kids hear about that. And then, you know, you start making the sphere of things that you're able to talk and think about smaller and smaller because you're worried that somebody might take it the wrong way. And I that's what worries me. But as I said, I think that as a society, you know, we need to change the way that we look at drugs. And that's my idea on how to do it, right? I'm not saying and like ultimately, guys, like I just don't want people to do drugs and hurt themselves, right? This is my best solution.
Well, and here's the thing: it's like you don't want to censor it, you don't want to tell them what they can and can't do, but then it's like you want to get to the point where it kind of circles back to what we were talking about before. If like you make fun of stuff like that, and it's just like, oh, like you're a freaking loser, like you're having to do this, and this to have fun. Like, why can't you have fun doing something else, right? Yeah. Like if that's what you turn it into, then it's like, okay, well, it's not going to sell because people aren't going to think it's cool. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people do stuff like that because it's cool. There's a lot.
And now there are a number of people who get stuck into a bad situation, and there's like, not to discount that at all. So like that definitely exists as well. Like what Asmon and I think what we're talking about in general is like the specific cases of like, oh, I heard it in the song, like I'm gonna try it because, you know, Percocet, like it's like, dude, like
is that not bad parenting though? Shouldn't your parent tell you entertainment is fake? So like when you listen to this stuff, it should be nothing more than
my mom scared the shit out of me.
I guess that's bad parenting. That sounds like another excuse.
She scared the fucking living shit out of me.
I think that's only one element of it. But people are ultimately, I think, controlled by their own egos. And
I mean, if you believe entertainment, I feel like somebody's like instilling that. And I don't know.
No, it scared me, dude.
No.
Wait, the thing is like your parents can only do so much. Like at the end of the day, like you got to be accountable for your own actions.
You know, my mom told me, she's like, if you do drugs, you will die.
Yeah,
it will kill you. You will be. You see this kid on a ventilator? This is you. If you do drugs. And so I never did them.
Yeah, I don't think fear is how you should.
I'll smoke weed and drink alcohol, but that's it.
My parents never really gave a fuck, honestly. They didn't really care. My
parents really didn't tell me anything either. I just kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I was just like, man, like everybody that's doing this seems like a loser. Yeah,
so it just sounds like bad parenting. Like they let you watch the entertainment, but don't tell you, hey, this is fake. So you know, you just watch it and you just.
I think that like parents can only do so much for their kids, right? And I've known a lot of people that had good parents, but they turned out to be pieces of shit because they were pieces of shit. Yeah. And vice versa, right? People who had bad parents and they turned out to not be pieces of shit. Right. So, you know, I think it really just depends.
Will you tell your kids if you plan on having any, the entertainment is fake? Or you just let them sit in front of the TV?
I think that I'd want them to come to that conclusion on their own, and it's more of like a case by case basis. So if like my kid thinks wrestling is real, I'd be like, listen, you know, it's not. Whoa. But also I would try not to like kind of control the way that they think of things, because I think that learning is stronger whenever it happens within
like, I don't want to
rather than somebody just telling them.
I also don't want. I think it depends on where you're at. Like if we're at Disneyland or some shit, like I'm not gonna be like, this is all fake. This is all fucking fake.
Adam's gonna
worthless.
tell his
Life
kid that
sucks.
Santa Claus is fake.
Why do you feel like they want to get an adrenaline rush?
No, like when I was a kid, you know that
they
Star
want to go
Tours
down the
ride?
roller coaster and still have
Yeah.
fun.
Well, no, like you know the Star Tours ride in Disneyland where you go in and it's now a Star Wars theme, but like you go in now it's 3D, but like you go in. I thought it was real, and I thought we traveled through space when I was a kid. Maybe I was just stupid as shit, but.
Yeah.
And I also thought California Dream, or the soaring over California ride. I thought that was real, and they didn't tell me.
Though.
They didn't tell me. I just believed it was real. So I'm not going to tell them that kind of stuff. And also, I believed in Santa Claus. I still believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah, I mean, you always want your kids to have like that whole imagination and sense of adventure. Because
yeah, I think that's true.
You understand how shitty and mundane life can be when you get older. You might as well, like when they're young, give them a magical childhood. You know.
I believe in the spirit of Santa Claus. That's what I believe in.
I do too. Yeah, and I really like Christmas a lot. That's like
I do. And Christmas has never been the same since I found out, you know.
Oh my God. I have like vivid memories of like, I used to wake my mom up at 4 a.m. Like as long as there are presents under the tree, that meant Santa Claus already come, and that meant I can start opening presents. So I would like wake my mom up at like 4 a.m. Be like, yo, is it time?
Yeah. I started to get to an age, it must have been like 14 or something. I was like, man, Santa Claus, his handwriting looks a lot like Dad's handwriting.
You believed in Santa until you were 14?
No, I was probably like 12. I think.
No, you were 14.
I was in middle school.
You were 14 believing in Santa.
What's wrong with that?
You know
What's wrong with that?
You know what? Look, I hit puberty late.
No,
okay?
dude,
I didn't have porn.
I believed in Santa.
I didn't have porn. I had NORAD tracking Santa.
I believed Santa. I believed Santa all the way until like 16. And the thing is, I wanted to believe Santa. Like that's kind of stuff that makes me live. That's kind of stuff I love in life. The mystery, the unknown, the magic. Like I wanted to believe that. Like that kind of stuff as a kid, I think is so important. And I think once you strip children of that world, of that imagination, that's what cripples them, makes them dull, boring, and it just shits on their creativity and destroys it. Because realistically, if you put a child into the real reality at that age, it's just, in my opinion, it's nothing but.
Also, you have a chance of like, you know, trying to help craft an amazing, creative, you know, caring, loving human being, especially when their brains are like sponges. So like if you give your children a fucking amazing childhood and you give them like a lot of like, you know, instill a lot of good values in them, like, you know, that could be a big reason of like, you know, them turning out well.
My parents went all out. They would put reindeer shit on the front lawn. They would put carrots.
Your dad was just taking a shit and you're like, yeah, this is a reindeer shit.
I did one time I came home from school and I was locked out of the house when I was in high school, and I couldn't get inside and I had to take a shit. I just shit in the backyard. Pulled down my pants and took a shit.
My parents used to, like, you know, bite the cookies and drink some of the milk, and it was just so wholesome. It was so
I remember
wholesome.
that.
So wholesome. Like,
And the Tooth Fairy too.
yeah, like it was just wholesome. You know what I'm talking about? It was great. And like, it was just amazing. It was just, Christmas was just fucking amazing. Christmas is still amazing. It's still such a magical
Christmas is amazing. But now I like the tables are turned where like my mom used to work a second job just to get me like good gifts and stuff.
That's the amazing part though. Like that.
And then
I love getting presents from my
continue,
parents
Andy.
now.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm like, and so like now it's like, it feels so good to be able to be on the reverse and like spoil my mom with like extravagant gifts because
Of
like
course.
I know how hard she worked to do it for me. So it's like now it feels so good on the giving side, you know?
My parents don't give me shit for Christmas.
Thanks.
This year they gave me for Christmas, they gave me a gift card to a travel store, and you know, I appreciate it, but I was like, it was a $50 gift card, and they're like, yeah, that won't buy you anything there. It'll buy you about.
They gave you a
30%
card to the
stuff.
travel store just for the picture they wanted to put in your head. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
I'm kidding.
No,
I don't know. I don't know when's the last time I actually asked for a gift, like something specific, because it's like anything that feel like I really need like anything.
You already have this.
What do you mean? You ask me to give subs to you all the time.
Well, yeah, okay, that's not what I said. But basically, we I don't know. I think like you said, Asmon, it's like we already kind of have everything we need, so it's kind of at that point where it's like anything else is pretty much a luxury, like as far as anything our parents can give us. So it's
Some
like
socks.
give me some socks. Like, I need socks and underwear. Like
My dad actually got me the best gift. I didn't even know I needed this. He bought me an axe last Christmas.
Yo.
And I would actually. Yeah, it's still at Tyler's house, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's still over there because we're going to use it for a video. And I would go outside and I would throw that axe around every single day, like after stream. And it was like it was just great, man. It really was.
Yo,
what's your favorite Christmas present that you've ever
Before we go there, let's have Candyland and Dankquan. Candyland and Dankquan. How about you guys?
Yeah.
About Christmas?
Yeah, like Christmas.
You get naked on Christmas too, Candyland?
No,
She wears that Santa outfit, girl. Oof.
No, it was the same for me. Like, I also woke up super early in the morning and was very excited for the presents. My mother and father they laid out fake what's it called, foot traces in the living room.
For jultomten?
What?
For jultomten?
Ja, jultomten.
Yeah, jultomten.
Jultomten.
Swedish Santa Claus.
Oh.
Jultomten. Dela en kuk med jultomten.
Yeah, of course, exactly.
Oh, sorry. Dela en koka med jultomten.
I like how
Yes.
Europe.
Oh my god, you're good at it, Swedish.
All
I
of
know.
Europe has like those Christmas markets everywhere. Aren't those things
What
are
is
cool?
Yule
Do they have them in
Tomten?
Sweden too?
It's Santa Claus.
Yule Tompton?
Do they have those?
Markets?
Do they have? Do they have the Christmas markets in Sweden too, or is that only in like other places in Europe?
Yeah, we have like every what's it called, Advent? Every like Sunday, we have a market.
What's fucked up is, here's what's fucked up, dude. I feel like my mind is so corrupted now that like when I think of Santa Claus, I think of like I think of a Santa Claus outfit and then like a big 12-inch cock, like, and Santa's little helper just like Merry Christmas, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm picturing these days.
At least it's not the
Obsessed
reindeer.
with fucking gotcha for the best
in
2
this
months,
exact
dude.
in this exact formation, Merry Christmas. You know what I mean? And like a 9-inch hard veiny cocks out there with like jingle bells hanging from it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jesus
some crazy
Christ.
shit.
Fuck, man.
Yo,
What the
Dankquan,
fuck?
what about you?
You need to lay off the gotcha.
What's up with the racism in chat tonight? What the fuck?
Dankquan, how about you, brother?
Guy.
I was actually raised Jewish, so I didn't start fucking with Christmas until recently.
So you got 9 days of Hanukkah?
Yeah, we used to do the Hanukkah.
Yo, you should get a menorah and put it under the tree.
Menorah, I actually have one in my bathroom. I could do that.
I feel like that's the next ligma. You should get a menorah. These, never mind. That's probably just, never mind.
Dude, Tyler, you fucked up Christmas.
Did I?
Man, I don't know if I'm. Yeah, you fucked down. Now I'm all of a sudden I'm just gonna be thinking about Santa and his helpers just blowing each other.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Tyler. There has to be
orgy.
something that's holy. Take it back.
Take it back.
bro.
Take it back, you little fucking
I
edgelord.
can't, dude. That's just so hot to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Santa Claus comes out with a present, and in the present, it's just this hard cock in there, and Santa's little helper's like,
Oh, shut your
just so
mouth.
fucking hot. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Sorry.
Dude, there goes all future sponsors right there.
No.
Yep.
Anyways, yo,
Oh, yeah,
Dankquan, so for your 9 days of Hanukkah, was it like one present per day?
I'm just kidding. My mom never got us presents. I wasn't raised Jewish, but yeah, she would make like a dinner before she went to work, and that was it.
But you lied?
Yeah, I lied.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell
Alright.
the full truth. I don't know. I wanted to.
Okay.
What was the favorite gift that you got for Christmas?
Never got a gift. That's what I'm saying. She would just make a dinner before she left.
No, I was talking in general. Like,
So I guess
maybe it was your mom's
How about
cooking.
McConnell? What about, I forgot about McConnell. What about you, McConnell?
I get some goldfish.
What?
The food or the actual fish?
Yeah, the snack, the smiles back.
That's fucking great.
That's
I
about
got a
it. I get
computer
that and
inside,
gas
I think.
cards.
Gas cards?
Yep, for gas.
We're talking when you're younger, man. When you're younger, not when you're 18.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what he's
okay.
talking about. He's talking
No,
about.
I normally just got clothes.
One time I got a $200 Visa gift card, and
what do you want me to say?
Shit on a fleshlight. I bought my first fleshlight with a $200 Visa gift card. Discreet shipping. Oh yeah.
Let me fucking lie like everybody else and say, I fucking got an N64.
My mother wasn't rich, but like I said,
Nintendo 64.
Yeah, my favorite gifts usually were video games. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, whatever the fuck new system was out, I would always get the new system. And I know for a fact my mother like really busted her ass, like, cause she works in a school, and she would always like, I don't know if it was like for like a whole month or whatever, but she would always get like a part-time job just to like make Christmas awesome.
That's very wholesome.
And,
that's cool as fuck.
That's very wholesome.
Yes.
Did your parents ever prank you guys? Like as you were younger, like for Christmas, I got a PS4, but it was for my mom. But they made me open it, and I was excited. And they were like, "Oh, well, it's for your mom." It was actually like, but it was for me. It was like people they prank me all the time.
They prank my siblings, but not me.
Ooh, you were not the favorite.
Me? Oh, I was the youngest.
Oh, that's.
They were all burned out by the time you.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They used to stack shit to the ceiling. I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me look like a fucking no. I was very lucky. Fortunate.
The excitement to me of like getting consoles for Christmas, I just like, it's like up there with like the happiest memories of like all time and like the top 5, you know what I mean? Like you just, I don't know, just unwrapping it and just being able to like, not just because you're getting a console as a Christmas present, but you're getting one that you've never played before, when you're like, you see it just came out and like this whole new fucking world gets plugged into your TV. It was like awesome.
I never really got like, I remember like growing up, like I had a bunch of friends, and it's like, I had a bunch of friends who would get like freaking like 10 presents for Christmas. And if I was lucky, I'd get like 2 or 3 maybe. I don't know, I just didn't get a whole lot, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing was like, I never had like the newest console whenever it came out. I had the N64, and that was it. Other than the N64, I never had the newest console whenever it came out. Like I got the Xbox like 4 years late. I got everything like way late.
What about like the Game Boys and stuff?
Nope, not even Game Boy.
Wow.
So I had WoW. So I just always played WoW.
Oh man,
like,
dude,
that's all you need.
Like, yeah, I didn't get anything.
The Game Boy, the Game Boy Color with the Pokemon red version. You know, those were
red or blue.
I was red version. Red. Oh, those.
I was red too.
Were the most magical fucking days, man. Like,
nah, it's all about this.
You little shit, flexing. The small flex.
What is that?
It's a Game Boy Nano or Micro.
Is it brand new?
It's not brand new. I bought it in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But look how cute it is.
That's cute, Andy.
That shit does look great.
Hey, is sushi better in Tokyo?
Not
the same.
A lot of the regular sushi is not really that much of a difference, but like, I mean, you can get sushi in New York City and LA that's better than like a lot of the shit in Tokyo. Just because a lot of the Tokyo shit is just like average price.
Do they have any of the Americanized sushi, like the Vegas rolls, like with the cream cheese and deep fried?
You could get some kind of variations in some of the places. They do put like mayonnaise on certain shit, and they do have like kind of like cheap, like super cheap sushi that you could get like a lot of different shit on it.
The sushi I had in Tokyo was phenomenal. I had Toro. It was tuna. It was the fat, belly fat. It melted in my mouth.
No, it's so good. You could get a really good sushi meal in Tokyo for like $25. And in LA, you go to $25 and it's like ghetto sushi.
Aren't you ever worried about the radiation?
What?
Yeah, I mean, the fish is full of radiation, right? So, like,
no,
if you eat a lot of sushi, you'll die.
I mean, that's what you think, but they have all kinds of meters to, like, measure the water and measure the fish. I know that disaster was kind of crazy and radiation did get in the water, but they do have actual, like, high-tech meters that they can measure the radiation in every fish they catch.
Oh, that's good. That's reassuring.
Yeah, and also he's just eating or you used in Tokyo for a little bit, it's not gonna affect your body so much. If you would get it.
I want to affect your body so much.
Oh my god.
Same.
Sorry.
Andy.
Damn, what happened to me, Jay?
Let's get naked.
That was just a lob, and I tried to hit it home.
Andy is a really good guy. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
I think you should let Andy come over there to Sweden and you guys should hang out for a day.
Oh my god.
IRL
Are you
stream.
down?
Fucking matchmaker.
Sure.
Oh, Andy, you're.
There's not much to do here.
Yeah, you're right. There isn't much to do, so you should get creative.
Listen, Trainwrecks. Chill. Okay.
I got you. Listen, anyways.
I like Sweden. I like Sweden a lot. Sweden's nice.
I like Vegas. Vegas is fun.
Vegas.
You better get your fucking hands off her.
My hands were no
He's
hands.
squeezing his arm right now.
Yeah. Only if I can get a piece of you first, Dankquan. That's it.
I'm squeezing my hard.
That's fucking.
Word train.
I'm right here. Sorry.
Yeah, we're trying.
I don't know. He's
What's the
saying
new
something.
topic, dude?
Sorry, I was looking at Asmongold's chair that we're looking at. It's funny because
What? Someone wrote Andy is nothing but a sheep. I'm so far from a sheep, but I love that. Andy is nothing but a sheep.
my camera's off for my voice. Hello.
I think it's still like delayed a bit.
Hello.
Yeah, it's super much delay.
That's fun.
Hello, yeah.
Super much.
Word train.
I'm right here. Sorry.
Yeah, we're trying.
I don't know. He's
What's the
saying
new
something.
topic?
Sorry, I was looking at Asmongold's chair that we're looking at. It's funny because
What? Someone wrote Andy is nothing.
holy shit, you're right. There was lag in my man. These fucking headphones. I gotta go buy new headphones now. That's fucked up.
Get some of these, baby. These are
Right
cute
now.
too.
Oh, I like those. Yeah, I've Sennheisers as well, but I like those ones a lot.
You like the cute
Yeah, those
ones?
are cute. They're simple. These ones have headphones on them.
I like the color. It's like cream and brown.
Yep.
Makes you want to cream on them.
That's hot as fuck.
Andy,
That's hot as fuck.
dude, do you need to go squeeze your hog or something, bro?
I mean, listen,
Just take a couple minutes, man.
Fleshlights. They sent me a box. I'm scared to open it up.
Why you got why don't you just have Soda hook you up with some Tengas? They got anal ones now.
Listen, I was just in Japan, dude. I've had many Tengas. Tengas are nice because you get to throw them in the garbage. Fleshlights, you gotta wash them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
that's an intimate experience. You
To
get
wash them?
yeah,
Oh, to like care for them?
yeah. You gotta care for it.
Candy, do you ever wish sometimes that you had a pee-pee?
Yeah.
Okay, I do too.
Wait, what?
Would you guys
And I have a
more-
list. I have a list of things, like the very first things I would do if I had a pee-pee. It would be to get roadhead, to
Okay.
TT, to you booby,
Yeah,
and then-
yeah.
and I forgot the other
I
one.
had Roadhead one time. It's not what it's like in the porno.
What is
Is it
wrong?
better? Is it better?
You ain't getting it
No,
right
it's
then.
fucking.
It's terrible.
It was.
I
It
don't know,
was.
Having a bumper car?
It's just overrated.
No, it was scripted. Is what it
Roadhead
was.
is hold on real quick, Candy. Roadhead is when a female gives sucks a guy's dick while he's driving.
Hey, doesn't
So
have to be female.
it was
While he's
scripted.
driving. Oh,
So we were
roadhead.
in
Okay.
we were in the house, and I was like, I really want some Roadhead. So we stopped what we were doing in the house and went to the car and started driving. And it was artificial, and I didn't have my. It was like I was driving like 20 miles an hour, and I couldn't keep it straight, and I
Couldn't keep your dick straight or the car?
Oh, got you, base.
The car.
I love
It was the car.
Roadhead, though.
Couldn't keep the car straight, and I
Yes,
couldn't.
girl.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Asmon and Esfand, we're talking about Roadhead. You guys know anything about that? Oh,
Giving
no.
it, getting it.
Wait. Candyland, what'd you say?
Yeah,
No, but I love okay. I know what it is when you explain it. So yeah, I like that.
Wait, I just thought of something really
Wait,
cool.
you like what?
What about? Sorry, go ahead.
But I don't know. It's no. What do you mean?
Nothing. Andy, go ahead.
What about getting a
Yikes.
steering wheel, right? Getting that game, what's it called, Wreckfest or another car game? Getting like a game steering wheel? and getting your dick sucked while you're playing the fucking driving game.
Yeah. Does it vibrate too? Does the steering wheel
Well, I
vibrate?
mean, you could still be kind of like, oh shit, no, going around corners and like trying to like function while you're getting your dick sucked. It'll be like a less dangerous version of Roadhead.
The practice.
I had a car next to us noticed what I was doing, and she went like this.
Oh.
And it was very embarrassing, and I was like, sorry.
My friend got his dick sucked while he had PlayStation VR on his head, and he was flying through a city.
That sounds fun.
Wow.
He was like flying through like a tower, like as an eagle, and he was getting his dick sucked.
That's like the shit.
That would be kind of crazy. Like
That's like the shit you would like experience if you're on like DMT or some shit like that. I'm gonna go get my dick sucked.
While I got a VR helmet.
Yeah.
Dude,
I want to try that. There's VR porn. I really want to try that.
I want to play Fortnite and get sucked. That sounds crazy.
See, that VR story would be a lot better if I told you it was me, but I'm not willing to lie for a good story.
Have you ever been playing a video game though, Andy? And you got that?
Asmon definitely just went and beat one off. He definitely just beat off.
Yeah.
He for sure just rubbed one off. There's no way he didn't.
Damn.
He's doing the casual walk around now, so his boner like slowly like goes down. You know what I'm talking about? He doesn't want to come in the camera angle right now.
He probably forgot to wash his hands.
You gotta choke it out.
He's walking around until it goes down. Yeah.
He didn't do it before.
You gotta
He
choke it
wants to
out.
Damn.
Yeah, Sven, go put a shirt on. Jesus.
No bad.
You're getting us all flustered.
Damn. That's
crazy. Do any of the boys ever wish they had a vagina or think of?
No, that's a good question. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
no, dude.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't really want a vagina for a day or whatever, but I would just love to experience what it's like to have an orgasm as a female because I suspect that it's more intense and better than a male.
like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, listen, it's gonna be very hard for people not to take this the wrong way. It's gonna be very hard. I know it's gonna be very hard. I know I'll get made fun of for it.
Wait, are you a racist? That's what
No,
I wanna know.
No, I'm not a racist. But listen, there is times I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I would never want to take it in the ass. Okay, and I would not want a vagina. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start saying that. But there's times where I'm real horny, and I'll go in the bed and I'll act like I'm the girl, and I'll really stretch out doggy style. And, I'm curious to how it feels to just get penetrated doggy. Like, how would it feel for that to have a vagina and that dick to go in and out of you? Like, think about that. Like,
It feels good.
okay.
And you'll never know what it feels like.
Do you want it? Like, do you want the dick in your butt?
No, I don't want to get fucked. I'm just saying that, like,
I'm starting to think that you want to get fucked.
I do not want to get fucked.
You think he wants to get fucked?
I'm just saying that.
Yes, he does. You have dreams about it.
I don't have dreams about it.
Yes, you
Hey,
do.
look. There's nothing wrong with a little butt.
Well, yeah, you do.
He does. A couple months ago,
I remember
he was
this.
talking about. Yeah, there's actually a copy pasta in his Discord about how he imagined like some 6'5" werewolf-looking motherfucker. Yeah, he's talking. Don't
No
lie,
chat.
dude.
It's like I'm leaving.
Damn. If we were a girl for a day, what's the best way to give head? Any tips? One of you guys
Honestly,
could
bro,
offer?
we're guys. We should know better.
Wait, give?
Okay.
Wait, give, you said?
Yeah.
Are you trying to go give some?
Get a grapefruit.
If anything, I was trying to safely ask the girl, the grapefruit, dude.
Yeah, I know it's desynced audio, guys. I'm sorry. It's just some dog shit happening.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's my camera?
Okay, that's the show,
Hold on, give
everybody.
me a sec.
Thank you guys
I'm trying to figure out my camera's being stupid. Oh, that's why. I got it.
Wait, there it is. That's the clip.
Yeah, it's not gay, by the way.
Am I able to sacrifice my spot for Nizkiff? He wants to join.
Oh, jeez.
The Nizzy.
I already.
Can I shout myself out before I leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the copy pasta I wrote. I wrote that.
You can follow me on
No, I wrote
Twitch.
that.
Twitch.tv/Dankquan, DANKQUAN. Yeah, I do like all the ignorant shit. You feel me? And I'm going to be traveling the world soon, so tune in. Thank you, Trainwreckstv.
No problem, Dankquan. Love you, brother.
Later, dude.
My audio's still delayed.
See you, man.
I'm able to sacrifice my spot for Nisk if he wants to.
No, I don't hear anything.
Jeez.
The Nizzy.
I already.
Can I shout myself
So,
out before I leave?
Esfand.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's.
When are you gonna let me come over there and snack on that ass?
Who, me?
Dude,
Suck on them pecs.
office hours, dude. I got office hours every week. Yeah, every week.
Cool. Just making sure.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 to 6 p.m.
All right, cool.
Real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. The sexual tension is just overwhelming. I've literally just wanted to break through that computer screen.
When is the next cooking stream?
Soon.
For who?
Soon. Well,
Actually, we might. I don't know. I'm going to Austin this weekend.
Poggers.
You're not in Austin? Where are you?
No, I live in Dallas.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. I thought you lived in Austin.
No, I'm. I mean, close enough, I guess. But like, I want to move down there eventually.
You guys like my AOL weed pen?
I love that pen. It's great.
So,
Is Train gone? Is it just us?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just us, guys. It's
All
just,
right.
we can do whatever we want.
We're gonna do whatever we want.
Okay, well, whatever you do, don't say it.
Candyland, get naked.
Yeah.
I don't think we could do that.
Yeah, it's okay.
We could talk about politics.
Where's Asmon?
Oh
fuck
yeah,
that.
that'd be great.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Where's Asmon?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about Trump.
He also.
Wow. What a great stream, huh? What a.
It's been a stream, man.
It's been
Absolutely.
a stream.
What a
It's
great
definitely been a
show.
stream. No, it's been good. It's been a good stream.
Abso-fucking-lutely. What a great stream.
It's been really fun. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Are there any topics you want to bring up? Anything that's juicy and nice?
I'll save
think,
it for next time.
I think maybe I don't know. I think maybe it would be fun to have. I don't know if we have to like allocate time for it, but it would be kind of fun at certain times to not have any topic. I was kind of talking to Greek about it. Me and him were on Discord right before the show. We were just chatting shit. And I know this is like a show and it's like kind of like more of like a show, but
Very professional, yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool to just have like maybe just complete like banter, because we talk about a lot of serious stuff. We're making points, counterpoints, arguing opinions, but instead of like debating the whole time, we could just be kind of shooting the shit and hanging out and having it be more of a fun environment for at least some of the time, even if it was just like a half an hour during the show.
I
you know what
agree.
mean?
This stream's way too
I agree.
serious.
I'm down with that.
Well, I mean, normally that's
Nothing
what
wrong
it
with
is.
getting serious, because I think they see us bantering around all the time. I think it's nice to get serious every once in a while.
No,
Right?
but I think most of these podcasts, you're like, topic. This is my opinion. This is your opinion. No, I think this, blah, blah, blah. It's like turns into a lot of debates. And I think that's also interesting stuff and cool stuff. But I think instead of us like always having to argue opinions about like big topics, if it was kind of like there was even just a little section to just be complete banter and bullshit, it might be fun for the viewers.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, let's talk about what we're thankful for, each one of us.
Yeah.
What would they?
Yeah.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what I said. but
We're
that's all.
thankful for what the fuck? What the? Is this fucking Thanksgiving or some shit?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of a good way to, bring us all together.
Yeah, yeah.
What are we
Jesus,
thankful
dude.
for?
Hey, you know what?
Oh, the
Shut
Earth.
the fuck up, McConnell.
God, I can't wait to meet you, dude.
Fuck you, McConnell.
I'm thankful for everyone on this show. I'm thankful for my girlfriend.
doing it.
And I'm thankful for chat slowly convincing my girlfriend to let me eat her ass.
You ate her.
No, not yet. I want to eat her ass. I want to eat her ass, but
Why won't she let you?
she's on the rocks.
Like an apple fritter, man.
She's on the rocks about it, but I want to go in. I'm talking double appetite. I'm talking I eat and then she eats and I get a second
Tonsil
meal.
deep.
Okay, I like that. Okay, JCG, what are you thankful for?
Oh man, it's gonna sound really cheesy.
Oh,
I am very thankful.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
I'm very thankful for you because if it wasn't for you, Austin, and the RajjPatel live stream, I would not be anywhere where I'm at right now.
Oh,
Never. Not without you. So I'm very thankful that I met you.
Hey, well, look, you should thank your blowjob skills because.
She was being fully sincere, and you shit all over.
Just kidding. She has never given me a blowjob, I promise you. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Okay, Esfand, your turn.
Oh man, I'm thankful for getting banned from YouTube because that ended up being one of the best things that happened to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are we really doing this right now, Andy? What do you think?
Do you see the way he just sat down? He jerked off. The way he just sat down. I've sat down like that before. He sat down so the dick's hidden.
How was it?
Confirmed.
9 out of 10. 7. Did you tame the hog?
Oh, you got that. You got that. I just jerked off and everybody knows face.
I wish, dude. I've got to get everything set up for my house because I got no AC. Boys,
right.
I got to call it a day. I got to chill for a bit. It was good hanging out with everybody, though.
Yo, Asmon,
Nice
it's
to
always
see
a
you.
pleasure, bro.
Nice
Thank you
to
so
meet you,
much,
brother.
dude. I love you so much, man. Thanks for helping me out, and
Of course, boys.
thank you for
Pleasure.
coming on, bro. It's
you
a
later.
huge help, and I know you know it. So thank you so much, bro.
Yo, Asmon, if you want to hang out tomorrow, just let me know, like on Discord.
Yeah, I've got to make sure that I can get my
Yeah,
AC
Guys,
to work
please,
Yeah, it's all good. Just
please
let me know.
follow Asmongold at twitch.tv/Asmongold. Please follow him at twitter.com/Asmongold. Guys, he's going to be, I'm telling you, when BFA comes out, you better bet your ass 50K minimum. Anything less, I'm sucking dick for everything underneath, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Guys.
All right,
That's
dude.
right.
All right.
That's right.
Hopefully I'll hit the 5-0, man.
Sucking dick for anything underneath. I don't even know what that means.
I'm saying,
see.
if it's at 49,000, I'm sucking 1,000 dicks.
Hey, dude.
See you later,
Yeah.
man.
Wait, why not 49,000 dicks?
Because everything underneath, the difference.
Yeah, I don't know. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, listen, he kind of, there was actually foreshadowing going on with Asmongold. Think about it. Earlier he said he doesn't like jerking off before a stream because he gets tired. Think about it. He just came back after 20 minutes. He's like, oh, guys, I'm tired. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's adding up.
Oh
It's
my
adding
God,
up.
yes.
it's adding up.
He looked a little flushed.
He was flushed. He definitely needed to get his nutrients back in the system.
So, Andy, what are you thankful for, huh?
You want an honest question?
Yeah.
Answer.
Either work.
Sorry, I'm getting high for the first time in like 2 weeks.
We get it.
I'm thankful for a lot, man. I think I have a pretty realistic view of the world, and I think most people are struggling, and most people are like really in bad situations, and you have a lot of people bitching about their position in life and complaining about everyday shit when it's like a miracle to even have a fucking roof over your head and clean drinking water. So like, I know it's a very extreme thing, but it's something I think about a lot because it kind of just puts you in your place every day and keeps you like semi-humble at least by thinking about how lucky you are to be in the position you are, to be able to like not just pay your rent, but to live comfortably and be able to like travel the world and do things and kind of be able to like spend time doing creative shit and not have to worry about basic fucking aspects of life, which is living and breathing and surviving.
Wow, that's deep shit.
Aw.
You know what I'm thankful for?
What are you thankful for?
Somebody asked me.
What are you thankful for, Raj?
What are you thankful for, dude?
That's
Thank
what I
you,
just did.
It is such a privilege to be able to be associated with such great content creators. Like I get to like I get to be up. I mean, I'm not like the biggest thing ever, you know, but I get to at least be surrounded by some of the biggest content creators on Twitch, and like they're really awesome people, and it's a privilege. So
I think that you're really good too.
oh, thank you, Candy. That's so sweet. Anyway, so
We actually did that.
we did it.
McConnell, wait, did McConnell answer?
I didn't answer.
You didn't answer.
I'm very thankful for the nature and
I'm sorry.
For nature?
the nature. Yes, I am. Like, wait, the world, and the nature, and the sky, and that like the world is ours, and I don't know how to explain it really. But like, if you go, when I go outside and I just look, because I live very far, like far away from the civilization, I just look at the world and I think it's so sweet. It's so cute, and I'm glad that I'm here.
Somebody said they wanted to punch me. That's not very nice.
Don't worry. Someone in chat said, the one person in chat said, "Hey, can we mute this Trainwrecks guy?" I don't think he realizes he's on Trainwreck's channel.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that, dude.
I know. You get caught up on one comment.
Oh, I was laughing.
Like, and they know that, dude. There was this guy earlier on in the stream. He's like, Raj is a small penis, and he kept spamming it. He's like, he knew I could see it. Raj is a small penis.
Because he said it. I saw him say, he was like, I know
Raj
you can
is
see
small
this.
penis. Yeah, he's like, and then like I read again. He's like, I know you can read this, you fucking pussy. And I'm like you fucking a bunch of. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like he's getting deep inside your head too. He's like, yeah. You know?
Hey, hold on. We forgot someone.
So what is McConnell?
Yeah, what are you grateful
for?
Real or meme?
Real.
Anyone you want.
Real?
Yep.
I'm glad he's gone because I wouldn't want him to fucking hear this, but I'm thankful for Asmon adding me to BNet 5 years ago, and then adding me and talking to me and letting me hang out with them on stream, so that I could also hang out with other people on their stream and like actually make connections with people. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been not who I am now.
God, what the fuck's?
That's nice.
That's
that was
crazy.
deep.
Sorry.
Wait, who met who first? So McConnell, did you meet Esfand first or Asmongold first?
Asmon.
McConnell, forget about all just the thankful stuff. I just want to take the time out to say I'm really a big fan of yours.
Yeah, I know.
That's good. I like that.
Andy, I've got a confession to make.
What's up?
I'd name drop you all the fucking time.
He says this
Honestly,
every time you guys.
I'm gonna be real with you,
together.
Raj. I feel like you and I are on so many levels the same. I feel like you and I have so many just relatable things. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Andy. That day I was FaceTiming you. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I was name dropping you, and I was riding your dick because I was in the airport. And some guy's like, yo, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm on Twitch. He's like, oh, cool. I'm like, yeah, you know Andy Milnok? He's like, yeah, old school. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's my boy. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'll FaceTime him right now. You want to say hi? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be honest with you. It took me. I don't know about you, Train, but we're friends now, Andy. But like, it took me a little bit to like get. I was like, oh my god, Andy Milnok. At the beginning, What?
You're silly.
I know, I'm so silly.
You're making me sweat.
Yeah. So
anyway, I want to also say to everyone that's saying add Miskiff, I messaged Miskiff, guys. I messaged him, and I was listening, blah blah blah. You're welcome to join the podcast. Just come in here, hang out, and just with us. Be serious. Have the fun, but be serious at the same time. And he gave me some hearts. He's like, he feels like he's in a trolling mood right now. So when we find a time where there's a good balance, next podcast, he's more than welcome to come in. And we talked. I invited him. He understands. I understand. So next podcast, we'll bring him in. It's free. And I just want I want a serious tone with fun, right? But when someone's like I said the thing to McConnell, to Esfand, to tell McConnell. I was worried because McConnell has like a side that's just all trolls. It's all troll and all meme. And I think it's good. I think it's fun to what Andrew's saying. It's good to have that. But when it's all troll, I feel like it ruins a certain mood. So I told Miskiff the same exact thing. And
well, not everybody gets it either.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times people just don't catch on, like, for whatever reason.
I mean, those are the same people that type leech in chat. I mean, these are like they're the same thing and dumbasses that think like NMP is the leech to soda and other shit like that, but they don't do anything. They're just
They're just
and
I'm also sorry about my mic, guys. I don't know. It's my headphone cut out earlier. And everything's just backed. It'll be fixed next time. It was actually good all stream. Messed up, so I apologize for that. It's unfortunate. Yeah, let's give a shout out to these people that are here tonight. Yo, Andy Milanakis, thanks for being here, brother. I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, no problem. Sorry,
bro, don't put this at all, man. You coming was amazing for me. Thank you so much, yo guys. Please follow Andy. Twitter.com/Andy Milanakis, correct? Andy Milanakis. Twitch.tv/Andy Milanakis.
There you go. Woo. Fuck, I'm so big now. I'm glad I waited to the end of the show to smoke. Holy shit.
Man.
These people don't care. These people are part of the problem.
Exactly.
Just go with the fucking.
So true.
They're like, oh wait, it's not cool to hate him anymore. Shit, where'd everybody go? Oh shit.
Hello? Okay, we're back. What the fuck? My bad. Okay, anyways, yo, shout out to Andy Milanakis for being here, guys. Please follow him on twitter.com/Andy Milanakis, twitch.tv/Andy Milanakis, ANDYMILONAKIS. He has trooped through a shit ton, and he's pushed himself and everything he's about to the top. So props to him. Thank you so much, Andy. I love you, brother.
Thanks, man.
RajjPatel, he is one of the creators of this podcast. You know, I went on his and we decided to make this Scuffed podcast an idea. So aside from me yoinking it from Greek God X, from GGX Gang, from yoinking it from the boy, RajjPatel and I decided to make this after show. So shout out to RajjPatel, guys. Twitch.tv/Raj, RajjPatel. RajjPatel, twitter.com/RajjPatel.
Official.
Oh, Raj official. Raj official.
All right, JJ official. If you can spell that.
Always.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, man. You've helped make this stream what it is. Thank you so much. I love you, brother.
No, it's all you guys.
No, dude, it's big help from you. Thank you so much.
It's all me. Thanks.
No problem.
Flexing my controllers.
No,
shout out to JCG for her being here.
Thank you so much.
I
love being here and hanging out.
It was great having you here. Follow her on Twitter, JAYYYCGEE. JAYYYCGEE. JAYYCGEE for her Twitter.
Yeah.
And her Twitch is the same thing.
It's just one Y.
Twitch.tv/JAYCGEE, guys.
I gotta get that fixed.
Yeah, check JCG out. Amazing.
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Candyland. Guys, listen, if you want to learn more about the naked Swedish parties, check out twitter.com/Candyland, right?
Twitter.com/CandyLull.
Candylull?
Or yeah, yes, I did. They didn't have any better.
Candy chair.
Oh yeah,
That
Candy
means
Lull.
something bad
Candy
in,
Lull.
like, yeah,
Yep.
CandyLull.
And follow her Twitch at twitch.tv/Candyland, correct?
Yeah.
Cool.
Spelled with K.
And McConnell guys, check him out twitter.com/he got banned, so he doesn't have a Twitter. But definitely check him out on twitch.tv/McConnell McConnellret. MCCONN.
Yeah, they get it.
McConnell.
Okay.
He's like a rare Pokemon. He's like one of those rare Pokemon where he streams once a month for an hour, and you gotta be there to catch it.
That's not even true. You're full of shit. That's not even true anymore. I streamed 10 hours the other day, dude. Shut the fuck up, man.
McConnell, hey.
All you guys gotta do is go to twitchmetrics.net or whatever, and then you.
Hey, McConnell, take another sip. You'll feel better.
I'm fine.
And finally, shout out to the next president of World of Warcraft after Asmongold's 8-year, 2 terms. Esfand, the future president, taking over, making Azeroth great again. Esfand TV. Twitter.com/ESFANDTV. Twitch.tv/ESFANDTV. Check him out, guys. Esfand TV. Follow him. Follow him.
Making Azeroth great again.
Wait, are you guys like on Asmongold World of Warcraft as far as like who's like the best? Because I don't know anything
There
about
is no, well, I mean, there is a best, but like, there's no like, it doesn't work like that. Andy.
Playing level, are you guys like equal or is he way
Yeah, I mean, everybody's equal, dude. It's like a Warcraft communism, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not everybody's equal. Everybody used to talk about the old days and Wreckful was the best rogue. And
everybody does different things now. Everybody
why don't you
does
just play with us?
I'll play with you guys fucking right now.
Real quick, before we go into that, guys, be sure, please, we are so close to 31K followers on Twitter, twitter.com/Trainwreckstv, twitter.com/Trainwreckstv. It is imperative, important, and necessary. If you want to follow back, just tag me in a post, say, what's up, big nose, and I'll follow you right the fuck back. Twitter.com/Trainwreckstv. Also, boys, listen, I don't know what it is. I've lost, I don't know, what is a Canada currency that flipped my sub count? I don't know what happened, okay? I don't know if I had 2,000 subs in Canada and 1,700 in US, but something happened. We lost 300 subs. So make sure, do you want to explain to McConnell what's Twitch Prime?
You want to do it or?
Yeah, I mean, like, we could do a joint thing, you know.
Yeah, go. You start.
Okay. So it's easy, guys. All you have to do is you take your Amazon Prime account, you take your Twitch account,
and you
link it up.
You sync it up.
You hook it up.
Oh,
I'll suck your dick.
No, finish it. You're supposed to finish it.
Oh, I was supposed to finish it off, dude?
Yeah, you're supposed to finish it.
Well, you're more charismatic. You go ahead and do it.
Oh, well, frick. Just give Train your Twitch primes. Just give.
Basically, what they're saying is right here.
You guys had one job.
One of these corners, guys. Listen,
dude, we fucked up. Okay?
Yeah. This is bad, guys. I think we just lost more subs. Listen, okay, guys. Listen, Twitch Prime sub. You need to Twitch Prime sub, tier 1 sub. We got to make it right back to fucking 2K, then 2,100, then 2,200, then 2,600. We got to keep pumping, pushing. I'm telling you. Just listen. Look at me. I have a facial structure of a fucking monkey, okay? Help me out here, okay? Twitch Prime, tier 1. We have community streams. We have goddamn giveaways. We have goddamn circle jerks. We have everything you need in this goddamn community, guys. So make sure to hit that Twitch Prime, tier 1 sub. We're going to climb back to our rightful place.
Stop screaming at me or I'm going to fly to Texas and beat your fucking ass.
That's fucked up, dude. Okay, anyways.
You think you could slap me, Train, if I got your... Think you could slap me?
I wouldn't touch you, bro. I wouldn't touch you.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, what would it take to get you to, like, slap me fucking really hard in the face?
What the Andy? What is your problem?
I'm just saying, I think it would be
you want
funny.
stuff up your butt, and you want to get slapped.
I don't want stuff up my butt.
You put stuff up there.
No, I mean, yeah, you gotta try something, you know.
What?
Yeah. You don't know if you don't like it if you don't try it.
Yeah, okay, well, all right.
Anyways.
I'm sorry.
I actually got a lot of follows out of that.
Good.
Yeah, I got 10 follows.
There you go.
Nice job. Anyways, guys, I love you so fucking much. We had a good stream. I'll be on tomorrow night, guys. Tomorrow will be a nice community night. We'll have a good time. I'll read all the subs out before I go offline, guys. Thank you for all your support. Yo, to you guys in Discord, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Sure, dude.
See you guys.
Hey, thanks for letting me hang out. Hey, yeah, see you. Hey.
No problem. Love you guys. Later.